Oh, I'm back. Hello and welcome to the 53rd Digital Homicides Streamcast with me and without Lothar, because I don't know. I don't know where Lothar is. So I hope he's fine. I'm going to check Discord in a moment again. But a few minutes ago he wasn't there. Let's use that. Hi everybody. So yeah, let me check Discord again. He's not online. Yeah, so I hope he's fine. So I'm not sure what's going on, but he did post the announcement and I tweeted about it. So I figured, yeah, and let me do this really quick. Hey, we start with a ban right away. Isn't that awesome? Haha. Let's do this. What do you think about that? Wait, I have the correct t-shirt. It came today. Perfect. And yeah, I decided to wear it. So yeah, what do I think about offered viewers and stuff? Oh wait, now I should actually be the right way. Let me switch this since I'm alone anyway. Let me place myself over here actually. Then I'm not as much in the video. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm still looking to that side and it still fits, so. Ha! That's what I think about scammers and bots and stuff. Okay, now let me report that account real quick. Yes, information is always correct. And we get information in a minute or two that they look into it, and maybe half an hour later, hey, we acted on it, and then you check out the account. Account is gone, or restricted or whatever, banned, blocked, sunset. Anyway, okay. So since Lothar isn't here and doesn't have to say anything about other topics, let me actually. Okay, here I see chat a little bit better. Okay, since he doesn't have to say anything about any other topics, I'm gonna talk about. No, shit. Now I have to. Well, I'm gonna talk about. Oh, that's gonna. Okay, that's bad because now I have to think in mirrors. Actually, no. Yeah, let's keep that. Okay, well, I'm gonna talk about 7 Days to Die, which was apparently released 2 days ago. Huh. So, how don't. Actually, they did change the date here to the new release date. I hate stuff like that. They should keep the. Yeah, well, it makes sense, but it was in development for over 10 years. I had it since, I think, 8 years or so. At the beginning, it kind of started like a better graphics kind of Minecraft, more or less. It evolved extremely well to a really nice game, so don't get me wrong, that's totally fine. It's a nice game, it's fun, it's... Well, yeah, it might... to me, it was one of the best survival crafting games. And yeah, a really good zombie game. I'm not into zombies, so I really don't care too much for that. But the exploration and all that kind of stuff is really nice and fun, and they added more and more stuff like quests and all that kind of shit involved. But they also mentioned several things that were supposed to be in the release. Wait, let me mute that and open a bottle. This time you actually see when I drink, so so yeah, the game evolved a lot. It changed a lot. Some stuff changed not just once, changed like 10 times or so. Like the icons for all the ore, the metal and whatnot changed so much. So with every, I don't know, 3 or 4 bigger updates and version numbers, you were like, okay, what's that now? Ah, that's this. Huh? Okay. So yeah, it's weird. Still happening for you now. If you didn't play the game for a few years, yeah, you will be like, huh? What's that? Even for me, there were a few new icons. I was like, huh? Oh, didn't even know that item exists in the game. I know why it does now, and it's one of the things I'm ranting about. And I know people who like the game, and they don't mind those changes that I'm mostly annoyed about. Small things, but still. But in the forum, there's a lot of pissed people. Pretty much those that are pissed see one thing exactly as I do. Which is basically that the game is not finished. It's not 1.0. And before the release, I already called it 1.0 is just, this is the first beta now. So this is 1.0 of the beta. And should the game ever reach 2.0, then I think it might be finished. But in my opinion, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I should change something here, because this is actually just chatting, right? So talk show, I'm talking to myself here, so stream manager. Let me switch that, since I'm just talking. Okay, like 100 times the viewers in that category, but okay. I could change our view because is loading? Yeah, I really hope loader is fine. Okay, let me get our view away here. And now it's not that bad that I actually forgot to mention it in the title. Okay, so yeah, the game, like I said, to me and to others, is pretty much still where it went from alpha to release. and I at least read about one. He was like, what happened to the in-between steps? Well, in not just my opinion, yeah, it's still in continued development. Well, one of the reason is also mentioned by people in the forum, and one thread has over 50 pages already, and most are not that happy. Well, some are like, hey, it's released. I started with this game as a kid, now I'm married. And somebody replied like, hey, then you can play it with your children soon. So funny. Yeah, it's not funny. It's 10 years. It's basically like Star Citizen. Some people might have gotten Star Citizen as a gift for Christmas when they were a kid or a teenager. Now they're adults and they're like, So yeah, same for this game. I mean, 10 years. Well, it's definitely a different game than it was 10 years ago. So they did put a lot of work in, a lot of effort, engine changes. It looks really, really nice. It could look even nicer, but still, it looks really good. So compared to some other games, I played the game earlier. That's really early in development, so that will still change. But that might not reach that level. But this was done by a bigger team now, so. But I think, as I mentioned in the other stream, this was in Game Pass, and this is basically, in my opinion, kinda console release. I also read that on console you get a discount. I get to the price soon. That price is just wow. And I did play Experimental 1.0, so I did play actually I did play the release version because somebody checked and the release version is exactly the same version number as Experimental. So they just slapped the sticker, yay, release on it. Kinda gives me the one thing I am already expecting in a week or two, a DLC. Wow, they better don't release a DLC. They will get hopefully a ton of refunds. And then if they release a DLC, and that's not free for people like me, like old school veteran early day supporters, then I'm asking for a refund, even with the 368 hours in that game. Because now I feel like normally I don't have that feeling, but in this case I kind of feel it was wasted time. And maybe not wasted time, but at this point what they call 1.0 release, I kind of feel disrespected for my time not respected that I put in the game. Is that chat actually? The chat isn't working, is it? Oh, it's not chat. Chat should drop. Let me see. Let me ask. Let me ask something here. Let's see what he does have to say. Okay, chat does work. I still didn't figure out. Okay, then we look into it.
Think about 7 Days to Die. Is that game finished already? Man, 7 Days to Die is still out there chugging along, but it ain't finished. It's in that endless cycle of updates and patches, just like a never-ending zombie apocalypse. They keep adding stuff, but is it ever really done?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't have said it any better. Well, I did say enough about it, but if Samuel L. Jackson has that opinion about something. Oh, okay. In this case, earlier in the stream, it wasn't his opinion, but in this case, 100% his opinion. I couldn't have said it any better than that. Yeah. And the cycle of patches and updates. Nicely put. Yeah, well, the last update was 21, Alpha 21. So I've been with the game since 6, 7, or something like, for a long time. I didn't play it that regularly at the beginning, but at some time, that's also, wait a second. When did we play it back then with the TII stuff and IST bunch? Was that 16? Then we did play it relatively early on. Although, yeah, it already changed a lot at that point. It was mostly the game that we have now, just not looking as good, and a few mechanics haven't even been there and stuff. But mostly the base game was kinda similar to the game today. But yeah, then we did play it relatively early on. And it was fun. We did play a lot of co-op. We had our complete base, and yeah, it was really nice. I did see Neversgain, which is the handmade map of the game, I think in 8, 9 different versions. Back then we did play randomly generated ones. But yeah, the random generation, sometimes it did some nice stuff, sometimes really weird things, like mountains that just had really straight walls. That was for a long time. Oh my god, that was really fun. Wait a second, I could actually... I'm not sure if I'm gonna find that. You can look for games, right? How do I change it? No. Is there a way to... Oh wait, never mind. No, here, this, here, and no, wait, my screenshot, yeah. Okay, oh, it should show me on, is that on? It's still loading. Okay. Is it not? Is it still loading? Wait, that? Yeah. Okay, still. Oh, hey! Oh, you're here! Wait, oh, okay, wait a second. Then, let me... let me... Yeah, wait a second. Let me in. Wait, give me a moment. You're too late. I think I already heard you.
I have an excuse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, you.
I have an excuse.
I
have an excuse. I thought I mixed wintertime and summertime. I thought I mixed wintertime and summertime.
Okay, so I found the issue why I heard everything more than once. Oh, wait, why? Did you change summer winter time? What?
No.
Why? How did you confuse it then?
I mixed Western time.
Yeah, but our time did change, so
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that I mixed it.
you need to put the green screen on the side where your watch is a bit further to the side. I think.
Okay, that's mean I should turn the fan.
Yeah, that might be good. I'm not sure.
I'm not doing it without a fan.
Yeah, do whatever you want with that. If that stays like that, yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Let me actually see. I can't really test it, so.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh.
Did my camera just die?
Yes. There you go. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. Something's wrong here. Okay, let me cut that side off a little bit.
I have no idea why. Camera didn't change. My system is reinstalled, but this crap cut off again. Like the last time.
How's it working? How's it moving? Huh? Yeah, I should be fine. Okay. So you missed my initial rant about 7 days, but I'm still at it, so.
Like I'm going to miss all of it.
Yeah, I'm still doing it, so.
Yeah, I know that you're pissed about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. Okay.
Kinda.
Oh my god, those are really, really early screenshots. Holy shit. The HUD changed so much. And pretty much everything else that you see in here. God, that's ugly. What even is that? Were those the zombies back then? The fuck?
Maybe.
Holy shit, can I not...
Well, this one have a backpack, so it might be a player.
Yeah, that's me. That's on the floor, that is me. and if you look closely, well, besides the body being minimally more natural, the face and the hair and everything exactly the same in the game, well, in the pre 1.0 version. Pretty much exactly the same. That's the reason why I cannot even play the early versions anymore. Because in the new version, you also have that character, basically, and kinda all the characters that you have in the earlier version, but they look like, well, models that you could actually use in a game these days, and not that shit. So I was like, okay, you know what, screw 1.0, I'm just gonna play 820 or 821. Yeah. Downgraded, started it, went into the profile, and saw my character look like this, and I was like, no, fuck it, installed it. Done with it. Yeah. I don't want to play the new version, and I can't play the old versions anymore, so thanks, Fun Pimps. Great job. Okay, so anyway, that was the very first screenshot I took. That was, hey, almost 10 years ago. So yeah, I did play it from not version 1, but I think I might be with the game since version 4 or 5 or so. I mean, really, 10 years ago. This is from December 2014. The game was released in early access 2013, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of time spent in early access, and well, looks like it wasn't even ready for release.
not changing models and stuff. And back then you couldn't even upload the screenshots. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, those look really, really different these days. Everything that you see on those screenshots look different, so. I don't even know what that is.
Well, it might be a zombie that was stretched by the ragdoll.
And this is also early version of Neversgain. I think that was the first version of it, I think. Because, at the beginning, I think it was just randomized, or was it then Neversgain? I don't remember. So yeah, that's in the background here, that's a zombie.
Just naked dude going around the park, and you calling him a zombie.
No, he is wearing shorts, so. Oh, and all those, oops. Wait. All those icons here, which already look really, really nice. Yeah, well, some didn't change, but the flashlight changed, for example. I think the pistol and the
We
shotgun.
can't see icons because of the table.
Yeah, I cannot make it smaller. I cannot change the size of the bigger version of the screenshot. That's so bad. But yeah, here. Wait, no, I have to rethink.
Well, I can see the flashlight, that's for sure.
Yeah. And now it just doesn't look like that. It's what else is good? Oh yeah, that's the HUD back then. Or the inventory. And that fancy stuff like this here. Like you're having a backpack or something. Yeah, that's just gone. Actually, this
You don't have a backpack?
No, you have it, but the graphics is missing. You just have a frame.
Oh.
Actually, this
They
backpack
don't
and everything.
differentiate it visually anymore.
Nah. So the top is the safe that I'm looking through, and the bottom is my inventory, my backpack.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, this looks like a modded version of the actual game now. Because there are mods for stuff like that. But yeah, to be honest, parts of this HUD look much better than in the game now. Same for the bottom. Bottom is just... You will see, I took screenshots from the game over the years. So that was also December. That was all the early... This is early on. This is 10-year-old.
Oh yeah, I do remember how I played Postal 4 the same way, going to the places that I should not be and taking screenshots of everything that I could.
Oh well. Okay, here we see an item. This here is the secure storage. This here changed a lot.
Piss off.
Oh wait, I switched too far over here. Oh, the cam again. That's why it blocked it. Oh, I have to be careful.
I have no idea why my cam just...
Oh yeah, and your mic also switched. Actually, I don't need that mic, right? You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, the mic is good. Okay, so this here, and this is one of the biggest gripes or things that pisses me off in the game. This little thing here. I said I used it for at least 8 years or so. I used this item for 10 fucking years. It's gone.
That small storage unit.
They removed it from the game last version or so. For no reason. And I show you what we have today.
Yeah, you did, but come on.
Makes no sense. I mean, first, it looks nice. It looks really nice. It didn't change over the years at all. It looks nice. You can place it on walls, which doesn't make that much sense, but in that area I could place at least 2 chests above each other and then even more on top. So, and it doesn't block anything. I could put that chest into the doorway and get through the door. Now, I place a container, a block in front of the door. Wait, I have to see. If I place a block here, so those 4 squares would be 1 block. If I place it here, the door is blocked. Nothing can get in or out. I could place 3 of those or 4. No matter how many I place in a row here, I could still walk over it without any issues. It's gone. They just removed it. And I was like, maybe I learn it and stuff. And then a friend of mine came in and he was like, no, that's gone. The other container that you have, that's what you have now. What? And it might be stupid. It's a little tiny change. I get that some people might not even recognize it or might not even care. But to me, and not just to me, I hope, this is an absolute game breaker. 100%.
I don't know about game breaker, but it definitely was a nice storage unit that, as you said, was stackable. And in games, when you should collect a lot of shit, it's definitely something that you should have.
Well, one argument is it does have way less space than the regular containers that take a whole block. So you only had 2 or 3 rows of storage in there. It was really limited. So you only used it at the beginning normally, and then you learned how to make the bigger storages. But now you have the bigger storages right away, but that is gone. Give me at least the option to choose, you know? If you put the other one in there, it's okay. If the others want to start with one where you have 30 spots or whatever slots you have in there, yeah, it's more practical to put your items in there if you have space for it. But for example, my first home base is a trailer. That's already limited. You have basically, that's basically the width of the trailer, what you see here. So, I do have, in the kitchen, I do have storages, regular, well, the kitchen closets and stuff. And then I placed 2 storages, one here, so I couldn't get through here anymore because here was a campfire in the middle of my kitchen. Your cam is gone again. And
I can see that.
I couldn't do anything more than those storages in here. Yeah, sure, they gave me a lot of space, but with this, I could have plastered my freaking floor, still walk around the campfire, still have enough order for a beginning base. I still had the big containers in the closets in the kitchen. So I didn't need the big container in there. But the big container literally blocked the way for me. So that's a problem when, let's say, a zombie comes inside or so. Because I forgot to close the door or they break through or so. And I want to run around the campfire or whatever to use the limited space I have in my trailer. If I place a regular container in there is no space anymore. It's just gone. You have 3 blocks wide and then it's just 2 blocks wide. Because, the trailer is just 2 blocks high, so you cannot get over it. It's not like you can say, okay, I vault over it, like it would be physically possible in reality. And the game tries to be a realistic game. I would see people place a chest like this somewhere. I wouldn't see somebody place a 1 by 1 by 1 meter wooden box, because that box alone weighs around 20 kilograms or something like that. That's my main issue, that the realism in that game is just gone with that shit. I get it. If you have a, I don't know, like a big base with a basement and stuff and storage areas and things. Yeah, okay. Those big boxes make sense. You can make a whole wall out of them, or the floor. Doesn't matter. But, nah, this is just shit. And the other thing, I will also show that. I should show that right away, actually. Let me show some new stuff. You saw some old stuff. Let me show some new stuff. So some new stuff. Let's start with that. New models. So, and I cannot get that high up anyway. Oh, you see boobs. Okay, but no nipples though. So yeah, models can look really nice now. They have round shoulders, round heads, round knees. Good looking models. Really nice. That's the, wait, you cannot see it. It really sucks that I cannot, why can I not resize this big view? Wait,
Who knows?
I know how I can do it. Wait.
I think you can open, file manager. Okay, that as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. Where are we? Okay. Because that way I can just place it here.
So yeah, anyway, as you said, it's all about the space, the practical space that you can use. Not every base, specifically not a starter base, is a big base. From the start, you're going with a small base, like in every freaking crafting game ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because smaller base is much easier to maintain than the bigger base. Then you get more resources and going into the bigger base, and of course you're getting a bigger storage space for that.
Exactly.
As goes usual. But cutting off, but it also my cam.
Yeah.
But it also limiting people from well, creative stuff like. Hey, I think this thing would look like more pleasant if I'll take, instead of one big box, a couple of smaller boxes and place it like here and there.
The one huge and main issue that I have that others oh, by the way, that's the X that you have now. The old X was where was old X? I haven't done it. No, that's X. Yeah, this is the old X. So you do have kind of the comparison of the changes over the years. Also the hut, yeah, this is the hut we have now. Yeah, it looks more modern, but the fuck? Why? I mean, it looked okay before. Also the orange glow that you have here, I don't mind that. Or the gradient at the back, it looked nice. Now it's fully transparent, so it makes it actually much harder to see what freaking item is even there. Before that, pluck, pluck, it was a short look and I knew exactly what I look at. If I want transparency, yeah, give me the option for that. But don't take away things that have been in the game for 10 years. And about the game being more bug-free or something, this is an airdrop that landed on top of that tree. That's basically what you pay 45 euros for now.
Excuse me?
That's the asking price of the release version. 45 fucking euros.
Oh. I thought you paying 45 euros for that drop.
No, for the game. For the game. And a lot of people are like, wait. So you basically get the same version and quality that you could have gotten last week for half the price or so? Yeah, this is a freaking greedy cash grab release in my opinion. And I hope a lot of people will not get it. And I hope a lot of people will read about how rip-off the game actually is, and I hope that a few people will watch the stream as well. Or at least the bot.
We can go back to our previous talk and my rant about Quasimorphis. Well, basically, when I was sold by the different version of the game, that was in the videos and whatnot, and now I left with something completely different. Well, not that drastically different because it's the same quasimorphism, but mechanically different.
Well, I do not mind a lot of the changes. I do mind taking away the things that have been in the game. And just quality wise, I mean, the textures and everything look much better today. I mean, they did upgrade one or two versions of Unity, so it looks really good. In moments it can look really good. In other moments, well, it could look better. But you also have special enemies now that you didn't had a few versions ago. So this is kind of like a boss fight down here. You can get into that cave, but there's no way out besides killing that dude, basically. And well, then you can build something to get out again, or there's a way to get through, but you wouldn't get through before that thing kills you. So yeah.
Green boar.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's kinda, it's poisonous or something.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. It's not like in Rust that the enemies were glowing red or so. So it's fine, and it's already dead. So in movement, it was fine. You also have some areas that you didn't have in the past, like secret laboratories. This here, for example, is a special genetically mutated corn that gives you more strength or something like that. So it's better than the regular one. What else? You do have nice new handmade areas that also look really nice. You already can see that you need quite a lot of platforming and parkouring to get over here, for example. I think there was a chest or something. But yeah, you have some areas where you can see where there's a certain way to get there, you know. You could also, I don't know, build a ladder up there and shit like that, but the level design is pretty good in those areas, and this is, again, Neversgain. As you can see on the side, I'm totally not injured and about to die soon, so totally everything in the green. So this is the game, how it looks. So it looks nice. It's not a bad looking game. So those are also, they added more and more of those areas to Neversgain. That's also the reason why Neversgain today is completely different than pretty much every other version before. And I never managed to finish or see one Neversgain map on my own. Just the map, basically. You could download the map if you didn't want to explore, or you wanted to know where the football stadium is, for example, or the police station. Well, there are ways to get the map and look at it. I did that once, but nah, I just want to explore it on my own. But you have special areas like this. It says Grace on here, and the dude living here is Bob. So this is Bob's boars and Carl's corn. Carl's corn is on the other side of that wall. It's like, I don't know, two brothers, and they share a house, but it's kind of split. So this dude was.
Yeah, I get the concept. We have the stuff like that.
Yeah. So this guy is breeding boar, and Grace is, well, the one that you just saw earlier. The green one is Grace. That's the badass one. Yeah, I went a bit nuts with the food, and I don't know, they experimented with it or something. But you have boar all over the house and the basement and stuff. And this is basically where you get out at the end. You cannot get in because it's locked, and you find the key down there somewhere. This is basically the exit. This is the way you get out.
Well,
So,
it's nice.
Yeah, I really love the game for that, because the exploration is fun, and you see stuff like this, and you also sometimes find letters or some info and some bits about people who live there or so, and that's really nice and cool. But the story of the game will be added later.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the reaction of a lot of people in the forum. They're like, wait, is that supposed to be what 1.0 actually is? Finishing the game and having the story? I mean, you do have a line that you follow, like the quests, the tutorials, and all that stuff. You kind of have a line until you reach the first trader, and from there, where you do get some quests from the trader basically, and in my case, I did find a letter or something somewhere that tells you, yeah, I'm here in that house or whatever, and you have a new mark then. But there's no real story, like, why are you fucking there? There's no intro. There are no cutscenes. There's nothing that you would expect from a finished game, you know? It's kinda, it feels like a game that went into beta and now gets the next few steps, which is totally fine, but then don't call it 1.0 release. This is
Well, it's not like every game should have a cutscene. Let's remember Half-Life.
yeah,
Half-Life in general and Doom 2016.
yeah, that might be true, and I don't really mind it, but at least some info, pictures, screens, whatever, like, this is the year blah blah blah, and
some kind of introduction.
Yeah.
Introduction.
Why the fuck are there zombies? Why the fuck is that whole wood and everything broken down? Was that an atomic reaction? Was that, what the fuck happened there? That's all.
I think it's going to be like 28 days later.
Yeah, but there's no story about that in the game, and that's a problem. You know, you start the game and
I know.
yeah, it's a nice open world survival game. No issues with that, but you literally don't know what's going on. Like the game that I played earlier, but the game that I played earlier isn't made by a huge team, and it's still supposed to be in early access for 2 to 4 years. But it plays well what it has already, but there's absolutely zero tutorial. But you do know what you have to do. The other game, you have to build bridges to get from an island to another island, because you cannot swim. You cannot even get to the water. So you have to build more sophisticated bridges to get further in the areas, and it's supposed to also kinda create a way for a way for humans to come back to live on the island, because they all went away. A storm destroyed all the bridges, and they just left the islands. So your goal is to rebuild the bridges, so humanity has space to live there again, and it's supposed to recreate like villages and stuff. The further you explore and the more you learn and the more you craft technology, the bigger those villages and the better the villages are supposed to become. So, but there's zero story otherwise. But that's already enough for me to know, okay, I stranded on that island, nobody's there. The only way to get from an island to another is, oh, there's a bridge, but that bridge is broken. It kinda expects you to have experience in similar games, so you know that you have to collect items to craft stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be done.
If it's not be after, how should I say it, an avalanche of similar looking and similar working crafting games, then yeah, I would say that it's kind of strange, but we all know that most popular games are like in that genre, like Minecraft, Terraria, and I'm not sure what the heck is Roblox is.
Roblox
So
is
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, okay. So
it's literally everything. It's a platform for different games that you can create, like VR chat.
yeah, okay. So yeah, it's like kids those days quite familiar with crafting and stuff.
Yeah,
Specifically when Terraria and Minecraft are cheap.
exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of what they expect from you, that you know the genre. So that other game is maybe not the best to start with the survival crafting game. But it was similar in 7 Days to
Yeah.
Die. You didn't
I
really...
know that when it comes to Minecraft and Terraria, they kinda expect you to learn about it from outside. Specifically early Minecraft, when you had zero idea how to craft, when you didn't have a recipe book and didn't know where or what to find.
Yeah, in Terraria, they relatively soon added the guide. The guide did help you a lot at the beginning. It's even more now, and now you just drop items in. But at the beginning, he was just talking to you. He was like, "Oh, yeah, well, you might need that and that to build this and that," and it didn't really show you everything. Now you just drop the items in and shows the whole list what you can craft. Okay, but here another really nice example of the character models. Looks really cool. So, but yeah, new version. Yeah, this is my. I think that's my trailer. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's my trailer. Yeah, that's my trailer. So, yeah, 3 blocks that I can walk in.
AK-47?
Huh? What?
I think I saw AK-47.
Yeah. It's one of the posters that have been in there. Well, trailer. It's like a trailer home, you know. So
Yeah, I get it.
It's not a small one. It's a big trailer home.
It's kind of strange to see that thing in the middle of America.
No, well, if that's a fan, you know, I mean, if you're a weapon collector, it's just, well, it's a widely known weapon, so.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah, that's basically my base here. I started the game behind that hill, so not too far away on that road. And I came up here and I was like, oh, cool. Trailer and stuff. No enemies there. Huh, nice. I see no dogs, even though there's one of those dog cages here. There have been another one in the back. And didn't see anything. I went slowly down, went over there, and then... Oh no, actually I came from the van over there. And then I hear a dog. And at that point, I literally just started. I had nothing. I was still punching grass with my hands and stuff.
Well, basically, it was already prepared to restart.
Yeah, pretty much. And the dog made sure about it. I did punch him good, but yeah, well, if that dog bites you once, you already start to bleed out. So yeah, then I came back and yeah, already had injuries and whatnot, and yeah, but I managed to kill everything outside. Then I went inside. There's a reason why one door is missing, because that zombie was like, nope, you don't need that door anymore. And the entrance door I cannot repair because, well, now I can, but I couldn't repair the entrance door. It was a double door. The outside was like a mosquito door with a fly net. And for the outside door, I need forged iron. You can literally look through it. There's nothing inside. It's just a frame, basically. And the inside door, I think I also needed something like that. Material that I didn't have early on, so those doors were not repaired for quite a while. But yeah, that's my first starting base.
Okay, I guess it's a really good mosquito net if it can protect from zombies.
Yeah, sturdy as fuck. Even the big mosquitoes. I mean, it looked like those big mosquitoes tried to get in. Like from the movie Evolution. Okay, so
Oh, that was a mess of a movie.
no, it's okay.
Cartoon was better.
Which one?
I still wasn't the.
Okay, now you cut off with your camera.
Some reason my camera keep dying, and that's definitely not Discord problem because all permissions is given by the system, but directly after when my cam is dying and I'm clicking the camera icon, it's saying that camera is disconnected.
Strange.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Alpha 21, so the pre 1.0 release. Yeah, you cannot really see that too well, actually.
Well, you can. Yeah, you can zoom in.
Yeah, I figured. So yeah, that's already not looking too bad. I mean, the in-game models are okay, but your player character is just ugly as fuck.
Well, yeah, you're playing from the first person view, so they decided to screw that.
Yeah, but this is a multiplayer game, or it's kinda meant as a multiplayer game. And multiplayer always worked really nice. So the lighting is nice, also in that version. And here, you saw that. Wait, let me actually get it. There was never say here. This is the original, the old school, the old school sign for Neversgain. And this, it looks more blurry now, obviously, because I zoomed in, but the quality is definitely much better. So
Yeah, definitely.
I'm literally standing in front of it and can barely read it. Here I'm standing like 20, 30 meters away and you can still read it. Alright.
Yeah, no complaints there. Specifically that they changed the wooden texture for that sign.
This is also, you do have a lot of funny stuff in the game as well, like that shit. Poopy Pants Daycare. This is so funny.
I wouldn't go there no matter how you asked for it.
I mean, it's for babies, so I think it was for babies. Wait a second. Could be for old people too. Poopy Pants Daycare. I laughed. It was really funny.
There's where American president right now.
The poop. That's where he belongs. Yeah. And the other one who wants to say. Anyway, this is also fun. The booby trap. A booby trap is also when you have homemade explosives and build a mine or something. That's also kind of booby trap. So, and
Now that's specifically like in Who Framed the Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. I mean,
specifically that trap.
That was a pretty nice area. Very nice. The girls, yeah, they looked nice, but they were not. There were quite a bunch of zombies in there. Trying to dance me to death.
They basically slacking on the job.
Okay, so like I said, the game can look really nice. This actually is Alpha 19. So, X.
That's random.
That's a toilet factory. When you flush, think of us. Like I said, there's a lot of funny stuff in the game. Savage Country, rugged wear for primary survivors. Alright. That was an interesting one. I think that was in a church. That's the church tower, and you have a gallows there. Not sure if the priest was like, zombies? Okay, no, I'm out of this. Alpha 19. Yeah, this kind of gave me a shock when I didn't have a flashlight on. What? You can already see quite the changes when it comes to the lighting. Lighting looks definitely much better today. That was a really nice base that I had here in that area. Alpha 19, I think I played pretty much the longest, and then with the next version, or was it the version before? I do have screenshot of the other version. Yeah, that's one of the older models, but still looking better than, well, early on versions. And the player model. The player model just looks like shit.
They look completely rotten.
Let's see. Do I have some? Oh yeah, totally bug free. Yeah, those
Man
models.
likes his couch. What do you expect?
Yeah, those models they look a bit more shit, right? You can see lower quality, and this is Alpha 18. Alpha 18. Yeah. Again, the poopy pants daycare.
This time at winter.
Yeah. That shit they still didn't figure. They still didn't manage this shit. So the thing, how the world of 7 Days to Die and the building works, everything that you place uses 1 by 1 by 1 meter basically block size. So the window that you can see, it depends in what direction you place it. So I can already tell that this window is placed with the block to the outside area, because this wooden pole is kinda standing where this block would go to the inside. Sounds a bit weird at the moment, but this also kinda explains it. This wooden block also uses 1 by 1 meter block size. Even though you just see that little tiny piece, you cannot place anything on top of or right next to it. Impossible. Outside of the window, you could only build a block away from that window. So the trailer that I have does have several areas that are turned to the outside. That means I cannot place wooden spikes directly next to the trailer. If they would have turned that block to the other side, something that was placed under the trailer wouldn't have been able to be placed. So, and that system, yeah, when it comes to that system, it is still 1 by 1 like Minecraft. 100% like Minecraft functions. Minecraft functions the same way. You place something, it works better in Minecraft than it does work in 7 Days to Die, actually.
So, well, of course it works better in Minecraft, because in Minecraft everything is blocky.
Yeah, but you do have half-sized blocks and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but they already still have a collision of full-fledged block if they have to.
Yeah, but you can place a wooden fence next to a wooden fence, and then it just connects each other. That wouldn't work here. That works here only in one direction. You couldn't place another one parallel to it. You just have to be a block away. So it makes building much more difficult in here than it does in Minecraft. Obviously, Minecraft makes it in quotes easier because you know that block ends here. So it ends here. But
well, basically, there is invisible grid, but you can't see it.
Exactly. That's why the torch is in the air. If the block is not placed the right way. I could place the torch directly on the wood from the other side. Well, I couldn't, because that's where this wood is located. So I couldn't place anything above that area, because that wood blocks the meter above. It's a weird system and it's still the same until today. Yeah, some glitches. There's water here. So, there is water there, you just don't see it.
Aha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see the horizon. Okay, I get how it worked.
This is basically a pier in a lake.
Yeah, I got that.
It's a shader. That was a shader issue.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate, to say the least.
Yeah. Crack a book.
Sure thing. Which one should I take?
Here. Textures? Who needs textures? Overrated. Let's just place one texture so they have an idea how it is supposed to look. They can use their fantasy, their imagination.
Imagination.
So this is Alpha 17. I mean, yeah, the look, the graphics, you can already see the change. So that's the older engine. That bicycle doesn't look like this anymore, but you have two bicycles now, and the second one is actually cool. It's like a mountain bike with suspension and stuff, I think.
You were menace on the old one.
You mean that cruising around and not realizing that there's a freaking valley going down?
Yeah, something like that.
That clip is just too awesome. This, I think, was a random generated map, which you might be able to tell by this here.
It's so seamless.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a car, so it's a trashed car. You can tell if you jump on it or if you just see the texture that is kind of misplaced over there. Slightly. Yeah,
Slightly.
So spikes, they did change a bit look-wise. Here again, that lower quality.
I can see that you really that you have a lot of hospitality in your area of living.
Yeah, obviously. I think that might have been the multiplayer map. I built a really nice bridge there with trapdoors, so zombies could get to this area here, and if they try to get down in the trench, there were spikes as well. So.
What you should do to keep salesperson away from your doorway?
Yeah, pretty much. Like a drawbridge. That was kind of the idea. Yeah, those were fun glitches, like waterfall, that's just a block with a texture. There was Alpha.
Water is
17.
hard.
Yeah, that's definitely a hard service.
Literally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So beautiful, realistic. As you can see, the inventory didn't change over the last few years, so that just kept this also weird. Yeah, lighting, again, changed quite a lot. Like all the textures. Another one of those glitches where water is just not rendered. This is Alpha.
At least it's far away.
Alpha 16, yeah. Oh my god, that blood texture. I'm not sure if that's in the game anymore, actually. Yeah, beautiful model. Looks like PlayStation 3 era or so. This is Alpha 16. So it changed a lot in the last, 5 bigger updates. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god, that was the version I hated so much. So this is, right? This is Alpha 15. Everything's still fine. And then they introduced 16, and this was what the buildings looked like. Yeah, pretty much every block was replaced by something completely different. You still had the walls and everything, the house was still there, but well, you had like a ton of workstations or concrete blocks instead of wooden floor or so.
The heck is that? What am I looking at?
That's a house. That's my house. The house that was my base is exactly this. See, this is the ceiling. Those three stairs, that was my ceiling. That's the reason. That's one of the reasons why I didn't.
Give me a sec, I should call the ambulance.
I after that point, I never even tried to get really far in the game because I knew the next update, and this only happened with 7 Days to Die. I don't remember any other game where it was that extreme. Some games even managed to use the save from the alpha versions in the release version years ago. I could have continued my Dead Cells save game from the beginning. I didn't. I restarted new. But here, pretty much every version forced you to start new. Not always, but well, sometimes it broke it so hard that this happened. So yeah, this is my whole building.
Yeah, as I said, I should call an ambulance. There's definitely something wrong with you. I can't see the building.
Yeah, me neither. I loaded it and I think I didn't back it up that time. It wouldn't have mattered anyway if I would have backed it up because you cannot use it. So I went into the game and I was like, no, oh come on. I was so pissed because in the save that I had before, well, I put a few hours in. So yeah, that really pissed me off. Then I was like, okay, another start. This is the most restarted game of my life. I never restarted a game more often than this fucking piece of game. Basically 21 versions or 21 restarts because, well. And now people are like, wait, can I not use my old pre 1.0 save with the new one? No. It's a restart for you, baby. I put so much time in it. Yeah, that's your fault. Nobody told you to play hundreds of thousands of hours in a not finished game. That's absolutely your fault. I don't know that people expect that stuff is taken over. In another game I'm gonna stream later today, there was a demo out. Demo is about an hour. And the released full game is 8 to 12 hours. And somebody was like, can I use the progress from the demo? And the developer was like, no, and the full game is about 8 to 12 hours. And that other person, and I have to play it again. Seriously, dude, you played a bit of the game. Where's the problem to replay it again? Now it takes you 30 minutes. I played the demo for an hour as well.
Well,
I just started new because, hey, I know what to do. I know the mechanics of the game a little bit.
And you pretty much expecting to do an intro a bit better because you can more fluid with it now.
Exactly. You don't have as many questions as you had before because, well, now you know what the game is about. So I get it if a game is like, I don't know, 50 hours and you played 5 hours. Yeah, okay, those are 5 hours of the intro starting area and stuff. And that was also one of the reasons why I didn't continue or played Assassin's Creed 3 again. Because that's one of the worst Assassin's Creed when it comes to the intro before you actually play the game. It's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, at first it's a backstory, then it's an intro.
Yeah.
And then it's practically whole first chapter is one big tutorial.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 15 hours or so where you play mostly as a child. And sorry, I don't want to play a child simulator. I want to play a fucking assassin that kills people. So it's okay in between. Like in Unity, you also had those little parts where you played backstory, but you had to know your connection with the female that you interact in the story. So you grew up together, and you were framed for the murder of her dad, if I recall it the right way. But you needed those flashback missions and stuff. That's fine. Okay, you played for half an hour or so as a kid. You have to sneak around and do shit like that, and that's fine. But if you have to play the whole beginning as a child or teenager, you don't kill anybody.
Well, it's not like that particular bad as you remember, because
it's so long.
Opening chapter, when you starting as basically defective from assassins, you doing all that you expecting to do. So basically fighting, killing, and assassinating. Problem with Connor gameplay starting with that previously game expect you to do everything without explaining you now. But now when you're playing as Connor, we're going to explain you stuff that you've already done.
Yeah, well, that's...
And then you're going to go like 4 to 5 hours before we give you a ship.
Well, yeah, I don't mind too much about that. But it's just the intro that's way too long, and that's... Yeah. And replaying that with the knowledge that you're so limited, you cannot get out of that freaking cycle. I really want to play it more, but yeah, that's the one Assassin's Creed I didn't play too much. Mostly because of that, because it's a bit like Death Stranding. Death Stranding also, the game starts much sooner, but it takes about 10 to 15 hours minimum until you get deeper into the story and have more things that you can do with the bike and all the stuff that you can create. But if you don't get over that point,
I would say Death Stranding is an experience more than a game.
Yeah, it's an experience, but that how do you want to call it? I don't know, that threshold or the milestone that you have to reach is really steep, because
Oh, you mean that you at first you given that small area when everything...
small area when everything, and then you cut out.
Yeah. And then it's basically like here the ship go with it to another place, and basically there where the game starting.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, it's a bit like an MMO in the area where you level up to level 10 or so, and then that's the starting area, and then the world opens up and you can play more of it. And that's really hardcore for Death Stranding, because it can be a fun game, but again, if you don't get far enough, you don't yet get to the possible fun part of the game. So, but if you get over it, you might just continue. I will continue with it. I don't know how much and not how long, but I do want to see more of it. Mostly because of the story, because I want to know about the child and all the other characters that are included. And well, Death Stranding 2 is announced and coming in a few years. So, I think next year. I think
I'm really questioning decision of the Sony to finance Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, why?
It's not like Death Stranding is a bad game, but I kinda see already that Death Stranding 2 will have far less sales than Death Stranding.
We will see. Maybe. I think it depends. It depends how they do the intro and how much the gameplay changes. Because it might just be way too slow for most people who are...
I would say if they give us a lot more to defend ourselves, if they give us a lot more options to stand against those neural beasts, then yeah, it might be much more interesting.
Yeah, the biggest issue that I have, and maybe others have as well, is that you're kind of limited with your movement, even with the bike, and that recreating
Specifically with your bike, because you must go try to go around rainy areas to not get into the beast territories.
Yeah, the thing is, you you don't realize it when you play on PC, but you need to play at least on the motorcycle with a controller. It's a must. It's just a must. It is literally impossible to play it only halfway as good with keyboard and mouse. It's impossible. You cannot lean, and jumping is not half as working as it is with the controller. With the controller, when I tried first time with the controller, the bike is a whole different level. A whole different story. So much better. With mouse and keyboard, it sucks ass.
Well, it's not like I noticed it because I started Death Stranding with the controller.
Yeah, I mean,
my rubbers died out, so that's why it's
okay.
dead.
Yeah, but if you play it with the controller, you can lean back and forth, and then rocks don't even matter that much. You just lean back and jump over them. But try doing that with mouse and keyboard. It is literally impossible. There is no way for you to lean forward or backward on the cycle with the mouse and keyboard. Impossible. It is only possible on a keyboard like mine that uses analog sticks. I could use it. I could use accelerate on something else and just W and S to lean back and forth. That would work on my keyboard because I can, depending on how deep I press the key, but it's an analog, like an analog stick. So that's the one thing the game doesn't tell you, and it took me hours until I realized it. I hated the motorcycle so much the whole time because I didn't get...
Yeah, I do remember that.
Over rocks, over small rocks, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it also looks like shit. It's the most ugliest design of a motorcycle I've ever seen in any game. Ugly as fuck and totally unpractical. It's just shit. But yeah, if you play long enough, you do get the sleds that you can put behind you to transport stuff and everything. But yeah, the curve to get interested in the game and stick to the game is extreme in Death Stranding. I don't know any other game that's so extreme. If you don't play that long...
I can remember several games, but I need to really think about it.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed is the only other game where I kinda see that steep entry, or however you want to call it.
I forgot that they changed Death Stranding to Death Stranding Director's Cut.
They did. So what? Oh, because you don't find the regular Death Stranding in the store anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone. You only see that when you have it in your library, I think.
Yeah, that's what I have and that's what I see.
Oh, did we get... I think did we get the director's cut automatically? No, that was extra.
I think not.
I think I got it from Humble. Oh,
I don't have a director's cut.
Yeah, it was Humble choice. I don't know where I got the other Death Stranding from. I don't have that in my list, so didn't order that. But I did put this in the category where it belongs, and this is Humble choice, so I didn't pay for the upgrade. But yeah, the cool thing is they actually managed. It doesn't matter if you played the original, you take that save and you transfer to the director's cut. It's updated to the director's cut, and then you use it in there. You cannot use it in the old version anymore, but yeah, I played 28 hours in the regular game and 4 hours in the director's cut. So I have 30 hours already in the game, so...
I played 30 hours in the standard version of the game.
Well, it doesn't matter, I'm at the same spot. I just continued. But yeah, I do want to play it again. There's a lot of really, really awesome stuff in the game. A lot of stuff that is kind of very weird, mostly. But when it comes to the visuals from the landscapes, well, you don't really have a lot of trees or something like that, but just the views that you have, and even more in ultra wide. This is a game that's made for ultra wide. If you see some of the views when you're on a mountain or something and look far away, it looks awesome. And
well, Kojima is a good game director. That's what it is.
Definitely. And the audio design and the audio quality and the soundtrack, next level, is so great. The soundtrack is awesome in this game. I love it. From the songs that I heard, there have been a really, really bunch of really good atmospheric and really well-fitting songs to the game. Really good.
Let's say that most of the songs are well-fitting just for the Stranding. On their own, songs not that much impressing.
Yeah, well, you have that in most game soundtracks. I mean, I did buy the soundtrack for Dead Cells when it was on sale, and it's fun to listen to in the background when you do some stuff, but it's not something you would put on to, well, in quotes, actively listen to it. Like, oh, I'm putting
Death Stranding doesn't have music composed for it. Well, not if we're not talking about original OST. I'm talking about those all indie music that they put in this game.
I think there are some made for Death Stranding. It says in the info, every time you hear a new song, that's a really cool thing that you barely see in other games. When a new song starts playing, because you get in a new area, whatever, it always shows you the interpret, the title of the song and everything on the side, like in a music video. That's
Basically
really cool
the same way as with Metal Gear Solid 5. Kojima's team licensed a bunch of songs.
Yeah. I mean, you have that in other games as well. You have, I think, 7 or 8 licensed songs in the game Hi-Fi Rush, and about 30 or so made for the game. But those licensed songs are only, you can only hear them in the intro before a boss fight or something like that. They are 100% unrelated to the rest of the game. And not hearing them doesn't matter one single bit. I had them deactivated because stream mode, but I listened to the soundtrack later on, and there have been 1 or 2 classic songs. There was something from The Prodigy in it, I think, and a few other songs that are known, but I don't even know why they're in the freaking game. No need for any licensed song in Hi-Fi Rush, which is a really nice game that's completely, well, it works only with the music for the game, so.
RIP studio that made it.
Yeah, well. Yes, but I did read a little bit about it, but I guess we can make another streamcast about the topic Microsoft and why I kinda dislike a few of their late decisions.
Well, we can do it next month. We still have one streamcast to do before we get up to our usual speed.
Yeah, kinda. But since we did a second one this month, yeah.
No. We need to do next month to streamcast and the month after it two streamcasts to get into our usual
Wait
at our usual spot.
March
missed 3.
March was 50. April would be 51, May 52, June 53, July 54, and now it would be Soviet 2. 2 are missing. Kind of.
So yeah, that's makes two in the next months, and
then we're okay.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. But if we miss one, I mean, who cares?
It's not like the first time.
Yeah, exactly. And we have those
Well-
0.5 and part 1 and
That doesn't count.
so, but yeah. Some of the decisions are not too good, but also some decisions like closing, what was it, Tango Studios?
Yeah.
Well, if it is not a commercial hit, it might be a really good game and a lot of awards and whatnot. But if it's commercially not the hit that they needed, well, that was mostly it. I think that in that case, Hi-Fi Rush, that the money they made with the game was not good enough to justify continuing on that line. So. And that's
Too
also
bad the
yeah.
thing is, Tango Games started as sort of independent studio, got under Bethesda wing, and if not for Microsoft, they could be at least continue slow burn development of The Evil Within 3.
Well, the thing is, you always have the risk when you sell your company to another company.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and a bigger company is always looking out for their freaking money. And if they
And as we said, let's go with that news the next time.
yeah, but it's similar in with movies or whatever. You have a certain expectation, and if that expectation isn't met, well, you had plans
it's
for
not
that.
like you expecting $1 billion, but you're getting only 999 millions, therefore it's fail.
Yeah, even let's say if a movie costs 150 million to make and makes 400 million, sounds really awesome, but yeah, you still have marketing and all that kind of stuff that's in the background and stuff. And if they at the end only have 50 million that they won through making the movie, that's not as much as it should have been. And several movies, for example, movie franchises they got 500 million and more, but they still don't count as a commercial success when you compare how much they made with the movie before, for example.
Tell it to Disney.
Yeah. But I still want to watch the newer real life. No, wait, actually, are they real life? No, I think they're animated actually. But a few new shows from the Star Wars universe that sound pretty good. And I did read about Star Wars Outcast. Is it Outcast? Is it Outcast? Or Outsiders?
Outcasts is Ubisoft game.
Yeah, the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's Outcast. I did see a little bit about it, or I did see more about it now, and I read more about it, and yeah, I think that's gonna be a really, really good game.
Yeah, I hope for that it's going to be meh, but I already prepared that it's going to tank.
Nah. If it continues the way it is at the moment, from what I know about it,
it will tank if it's continued that way it's going.
Yeah, why? Because you have no Force and no Jedi powers?
I don't know. All I hear about, I mostly hear about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and all I know about Outcast that people don't really like it.
But I don't know about that. And Assassin's Creed Shadows has nothing to do with whatever Star Wars Outcast is gonna be. So
it have to do with Ubisoft.
So what?
Skull and Bones already tanked.
Yeah. So what?
Ubisoft on a shaky ground, let's say, put it like that.
I don't know. I mean, they actually they can adapt to things they realize because they kinda stopped doing Ubisoft exclusives. The Rogue Prince of Persia was directly released on both platforms at the same day.
It tanked.
What tanked?
This Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this one. I'm just talking about the release of on Steam and Ubisoft. Same for this. This will also be released in a week, basically, on Steam. So they're not like Epic or EA Games. Well, EA Games you can also get on Steam, but they don't want to limit to their platform anymore. So
And that's a nice move, actually.
Exactly, and that's why the problem with that pirate game is there's Sea of Thieves. That has a huge community.
Basically, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, it took way too long. It was supposed to be out for years already at this point. So I didn't even try it on the free weekend. I lost interest years ago. So, but yeah, I mean,
it had a free weekend.
Yeah. I think 2 weeks ago or so. I didn't care. So, and Prince of Persia, I mean, this isn't a bad game. It's always what people expect from a game. And the problem is, a lot of people expected from this what the third-person games were, but nobody ever said that. Or expected...
People expected from Ubisoft remake of Sands of Time. And they telling us for a long time that Sands of Time remake in the making.
Yeah, it's in the making, yeah.
But we got this.
Nobody said this is about Sands of Time. I mean, the problem is here in the people's brains. Nobody ever said this is supposed to be Sands of Time.
But nobody expected this to be a 2D platformer as well.
Yeah, nobody even expected this game to come out to begin with, because Sands of Time is announced for years already that it's in the making. This basically was a surprise, at least to me. I mean, I heard about it, and I was like, huh? Prince of Persia platformer? Okay, cool. The thing is maybe that people expect an old school, like the very first one, and this is not it. You're different Prince.
When we're talking about old school original version, well, let's face it, we are too old to know about this version. But modern generation wouldn't even hear about this. And for them, Sense of Time already an old game.
Yeah, maybe. But again, it's you cannot make how do you say that? It's not the developers or publishers problem when people expect something completely wrong. I mean,
that's also the problem of the publisher, problem of communication.
No.
Yes, they did not communicate what this game will be.
They literally
did not said what it's going to be.
What this game was basically announced. Hey, by the way, next month we'll release a 2.5D platformer in the Prince of Persia universe. That's what they did. Or it was a month ago or something like that. It wasn't that far away from the release when they even showed that game. So nobody could have gotten any expectations at all. If they did, it was only their problem, not the publishers. The problem of Ubisoft was maybe not to promote it more, but I think they didn't want to hype it too much and just go with the, hey, let's see how the people are interested, because if they are maybe not, maybe they expected that some people will not like it. I liked it. It's a good game. It's not a bad game. Absolutely not. It's a fun game to play. I played just a demo, but what I played was fun to play. It looks good. Audio was fine. Animations are fine. Controls were fine. It depends what you expect from the game. And, well, I wouldn't call it it's kinda a reboot of the platformer. Although, yeah, there are different princes.
We already had reboot of the platformer with 2008 Prince of Persia. But it was a 3D platformer.
Yeah, so it's not a 2.5D. It's not the same game. This is a 2D game.
Yeah, I know.
So a release of a 3D game doesn't even get close to it. So that's not a reboot.
For me, it's basically like they tested the ground if people are interested in Prince of Persia. We can see that this game have no rating, basically.
You mean this game? Yeah, because it's not out. Cannot have any rating because it's not released good. Game comes out in 1.5 weeks.
Oh, Last Crown didn't release yet?
Yes, on Ubisoft. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, on Ubisoft, okay.
Yeah, they bring it on Steam now as well. You mean this Prince of Persia? Yeah, this is, as far as I would say, the least Prince of Persia game ever released. This only has the name Prince of Persia, nothing else. This has nothing to do with Prince of Persia.
I liked it.
It's not don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game. But there's the platforming is pretty much...
Story is stupid as well.
It is too easy and you cannot die. So, you cannot fall down because the girl that you're playing with is always saving you. So there's no reason to even think about, is that jump dangerous? You can only do certain actions on certain walls, for example, or whatever. It's basically an interactive movie. This is not a game for me. That's also the reason why I didn't continue to play it. It looks really good, don't get me wrong, but you get to a platform with an enemy, there's an arena, you fight that enemy, you go to the next area where you jump around a little bit, get to the next enemy, you fight that enemy, and not one of the fights felt even remotely as good as all the games from before.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was the main problem. I'm super surprised that it has mostly positive. I would have expected meh. I would have expected that rating. Meh. A meh rating would have been more what I would have expected. Well, artistically and graphically, it looks really, really good. But gameplay-wise, it's just not a game. So it's less game than all the other Prince of Persias. But hey, it's on sale for $2 at the moment. So for $2, yeah, definitely get it. It's a fun game. But again, it's more interactive movie than it is a game. So,
well, we still have games like walking simulators, and this one a step above that. So I can justify it like that.
That's definitely. But the last before that was Warrior Within, right?
Yeah,
that's the one that I did not really play.
Wait, no.
That far.
It might be Two Thrones. Two Thrones or Warrior Within? I don't remember. I do remember that the first one is The Sands of Time, obviously.
Oh, I do have the full franchise, okay.
Same thing.
I think was that the last one? That was 10. Forgotten Sands, that was the last one. That came out after that reboot. Yeah, that was the last one.
No, it doesn't count. It's Prince of Persia's movie, the game.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
It doesn't count. It's basically Sands of Time. But shitty one.
Was that with the movie? Okay. Yeah, that has mixed reviews. Two Thrones came out 2005.
Yeah, Two Thrones was the last one because Warriors Within was 2004.
That was the one with your two characters and that chain. Yeah, I did not play that much.
I didn't play this game at all because I tried to play Warrior Within. I kinda get to the midpoint of the game, but Control killed me.
I think I played them mostly in Ubisoft directly. Might also be, well, that was 20, oh, for fuck's sake, 20 years ago, oh my god!
That's why I said that original Prince of Persia, we might remember it because we are too old for that.
That's the reason why it doesn't have any playtime. Well, Steam came out 20 years ago, so I added a few games. You could do that in the past. I'm not sure if that actually works with the Ubisoft game in the other direction, but Ubisoft game and EA games that you had in Steam, you could always use in Ubisoft launcher and in the EA games launcher. So you basically have the games on both platforms.
With Ubisoft, it depends, because I have original key for Assassin's Creed 1, and Ubisoft not recognizing it.
Okay, that could be the reason. I'm not sure if you can still buy the first one in Ubisoft.
I think you can't.
That might be related to that, maybe. Because you can also not see... I just installed one, which was also a standalone add-on from another game. I don't know, you play as a female, and you cannot...
It's the black...
Liberation.
It's the team with black flag. Okay.
No. You play a female, not a black guy. A woman. Black Flag standalone. The Black Flag standalone is a black slave that fights against his oppressors and stuff.
He also had ships, if I remember correctly.
I didn't mention a ship since we started the stream. I did not say once ship. You said ship. I didn't even mention that. It was Liberation HD, I think. If I remember that correctly. That cannot be bought anymore. But I have it, and I installed it, and I will play it again. I only played it a few hours.
Assassin's Creed 3, for fuck's sake.
It was 3. Okay. So yeah, that was that standalone thingy there. So, but yeah, Sense of Time, I think. Wait, Sense of Time is here. Sense of Time, I think I finished. I could be wrong, but I think I finished it. Also,
I know that I finished Sense of Time.
That's actually, I totally like and support remakes or remasters of games that are 20 years old. So I'm looking forward to the new version of Sense of Time. It looks really, really good from what I saw. And in that case, it also makes sense because, well, as you can see, you have 4:3 resolution, not even 16:9 or 16:10, wasn't a thing back then. And it just, well, it looks as old as it is now. So having this in modern resolution with modern effects and everything, but close to the original gameplay, and it will be close to the original gameplay from what I know, that's gonna be a nice reboot, I think. And then I can also support it. But for some games that came after, I don't know, 2010, for example, Unreal 3 and Unreal 4 games, they barely need reboots or remasters. Barely.
Well, depends on the game. I would say if original port was already kinda meh, it might have get a second life with the reboot.
Yeah, but why?
Well, I'm not saying that every game deserves it, but there were definitely some diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, that might be true, but a game that failed once has really low chances to get a reboot.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's also another problem with old games, and that's the main problem, is licensing. because some companies either don't exist anymore or a split and stuff. There's one game, not just me would like to see a reboot and in Unreal 5 or something. No One Lives Forever. No one lives. Is it No One Lives Forever? No one. That agent game with the woman.
Yeah, you guessed it right.
No one. Okay, so that game cannot be rebooted because the license is kinda split between two or three different companies or whatever. So there is no way to reboot that because you couldn't get the license from one company. So there might never be a reboot from that game. And it's the same with other games that where the licensing is not 100% clear. If a company like Microsoft buys that company, okay, yeah, then we might get reboots. But as long as just one part of a license is somewhere else.
Well, Microsoft ain't sane because Fallout's still in Bethesda's hand and not in Obsidian.
Yeah, but the next Fallout is not even in the making, so we don't know where that will end up. Obsidian made the Outer Worlds 2, so that's coming from Obsidian.
Yes, but still, we didn't have good Fallout game for a while.
Well, Bethesda's like, oh, we support and push so much into 76. That's the ultimate Fallout game now. But hey, guess what? We do have a new and really good, as far as I know, Fallout game that doesn't cost
Fallout
1 cent.
London is a fan-made project. I know about it.
It looks freaking awesome. I just checked a few new screenshots and stuff. Holy shit. I mean, just rebuild London, just to walk through there would be a lot of fun already without even the rest that's happening. And they included a lot of really nice mods that should be part of Fallout regularly. So it's not just Fallout London. If you want to have the full experience, you also should install all the mods that they tell you to install to make it the better experience. Most of the mods that I also already used in my basic regular Fallout game, so I think I'm gonna mod textures and stuff and then install the mod. But I'm gonna see about that. But that's definitely the next Fallout game that I'm gonna play.
We kinda swing away a lot from Rust.
Yeah, but that might be the next Fallout game that I will play. I wanted to continue with 4, but well, why not play with a completely new one? And it has over 200 quests, voiceover and whatnot, and they worked on it for 4 or 5 years or so. So
I don't remember because it might be even more.
Might be even more, exactly. Game came out 15 or so yeah. A shit ton of work went into it, and I want to see what they did. And just having a completely new world and a new town and area with London, yeah, that seems pretty nice. So it's not just like, hey, let's just add a few things in the Fallout world that we already have. No, it's all new. So nothing that you will see there you saw before. Well, sure, characters and models and stuff, but the game itself, no, it's all completely new. So yeah, looking forward to that. But I'm gonna play Enshrouded more in the next few streams and weeks and months, I think, because that game is fucking awesome. I'm so in love with Enshrouded. Enshrouded is such a good game. And sometimes when I read in the forum what they complain about, I'm like, dude, do you play the same game? Do you even think about what you're playing there? I mean, just the engine and the possibilities that this engine offers you, that should be way more prominent. Basically, any natural occurring thing in the world, trees, rocks, floor, ground, whatever, you can take down. So if you want to take down the biggest mountain in this game, go ahead, knock yourself out. You can do that. The biggest tree that you see in this game, no matter how big it is, could be as big as a redwood tree, the big ones in America. It doesn't matter. You can chop down with your starting axe. Yes, you can upgrade your axe and your tools and everything, but you don't have to. You will never in the game, in over 50 hours, I never saw this tool is not good enough for that. Because, sorry, an axe is an axe. An axe doesn't matter or doesn't care if that's hardwood or softer wood. It doesn't matter. It's an axe. You hit wood with an axe. So the better your axe gets in this game, well, the faster you chop a tree. But you can chop down any tree that you see. All those trees are decoration in every other survival game. Literally every other survival game where you have big trees, those trees are impossible to be taken down. In Avatar, in Sandrock, it doesn't matter the game. When a tree looks like decoration for the world, it is decoration for the world. Here, if you hate trees, go ahead, chop them down. And you can do that. And the performance is fucking awesome while doing it. That's the next thing. And it does respawn everything that's out of your area. So if you mine clay or something and you have a certain area, you can always go there after you restarted the game and mine the same stuff again. Same with chests and stuff. I don't mind that. That's totally fine. Maybe in the future there might be a persistent world, so what you mined is gone, but the game would look pretty shit after a while, so but yeah, this is a really, really great game. And if you
That's definitely something that I would not like, because world lacking of your impact.
Yeah, I mean, some stuff, if you could choose what's persistent. So if you say, okay, I want to have a tunnel through here, through that mountain, because I want to have a shortcut. And you could choose that this stays persistent, but you are limited to like 10 of those things that you can make persistent in the world. Or, I don't know, if one tree just pisses you off because it's in the way of a building or something, I'm not sure if you chop it down and put something on it, that area might be locked for any further respawning. So I don't know about that. For mine, it's good when it respawns, because then you never have a limitation on whatever you can build or craft. If it is persistent, yeah, you need to find it again. When in other worlds, or in other games, it kinda is like that. In 7 Days to Die, if I destroy a house, that house is gone for good. That will not return again, ever. If I take down a mountain, that mountain is gone. Trees grow back, I think, but stuff that you do in the world is 100% persistent. But that might also be a thing with the engine. Different engines, so...
Yeah, might be much easier to store world in original state than make the world remember players' input.
The thing is also maybe with the size. In Enshrouded, I have over 50 hours in the game, and we only have 1/4 of the full release map. And from that 1/4, I saw maybe just a rough guess, maybe 1/20th or so of the area. So I didn't even get from one side to the other side from what I could go to. And somebody was asking, like, is there enough to play in there? Dude, I have 50 plus hours. It's not like I just do one thing and mine for 10 hours. No, I play the game, I explore, I do quests and do all that kind of stuff. I I don't think this game will be possible under 200, 300 hours to see a fraction of the map. So if you want to have a survival crafting game that you can play for hundreds and thousands of hours, here
Play
you go.
Minecraft.
No, this is 1000 times more fun than Minecraft will ever be. Seriously. Mostly because of the fact you have NPCs that you can talk to. They craft stuff for you. They have quests for you. You have certain quests that you have to do. There is kinda a storyline, so this is much more fun than Minecraft. If you just want to build awesome villages and castles and stuff and things like that, this is the game for you. I saw a build from somebody. Holy shit. You barely see those good-looking castles and stuff like that in a finished game. But, oh my god, I don't know how long that took to build, but just the building crafting in this game gives you so much freedom. You can, if you want to place a wall in a 30-degree angle to another wall, just do it. In Minecraft, 90-degree angle, that's it. 90 degree. It's all blocks. Here, well, you cannot make round buildings, which somebody complained about, which is completely stupid because not one building in the whole game is round. But everything you take down, like, if you see a house, for example, not every house, but most houses can at least partially be destroyed. So if you cannot get into a door or something because you don't have lockpicks or a key, but you have like a wooden roof, throw a grenade on it. And the house opens. And it looks really...
I can see that you a bit of addicted with survival games.
Nah, not really. I play all games. But this literally replaces 7 Days to Die for me. This is already, in this state, 100 times better and more finished and working better than 7 Days will look and work in 5 years from now after release. This game came out in January this year. This is really early access. The inventory system and the HUD is... The user interface of this game is one of the best I've seen in decades of gaming. Whoever made that user interface is next level and should teach other companies, like whoever made the Starfield HUD and user interface sucks. Seriously. Might have made more money with that UI, but just comparing those two with each other, Enshrouded is 1,000,000 times better than Starfield will ever be in its HUD. And that's insane. This game was just made by a bunch of Germans with their own engine, which is insane as well. They were like, no, we don't take an engine that limits us. We make our own engine. Kinda what Fallout, what Bethesda did back in the day, but...
that was really back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I can see games made with this engine in an updated version in 10 years, in 20 years from now. Totally fine. Upgraded to ray tracing and stuff like that. But world building and the voxel system in the game, that's literally perfect as it is. You cannot make it any better than it is in this game. I don't see...
Did you hear that CD Projekt opened a studio in America?
No.
So yeah, next Cyberpunk game will be developed by American division of
Cyberpunk.
CD Projekt.
Yeah, I did hear and read something about that. Also about the next Witcher game. Some of the game or the game producer or one of the game producers actually started with modding Witcher games and then got into a special team in CD Projekt, and yeah, that's That's the one working on Witcher 4, basically.
I don't see bright future for Witcher 4 by any means.
Me neither. Definitely not. If it is something like a Witcher Saga game or blah 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 in the Witcher universe or whatever, but if the game is named The Witcher, it must fail because there is no Witcher anymore. Geralt's story ends with 3 as far as I know.
Well, it's ends, but Geralt's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it goes to the story that they wanted to tell, specifically story of Zariel, how Geralt was looking for Ciri, how she basically fulfilled her destiny. It's all end up in this trilogy.
Yeah, the only way that I see how you can continue with the Witcher series is with Ciri, for example. That's the only.
But Ciri, not a Witcher.
Yeah, again, in the Witcher saga, the Witcher Geralt is the Witcher, is Geralt. It's like I don't know, what's his name? Bruce Banner is Hulk. It's not Peter Johnson who is Hulk. It's Banner is Hulk. You know, it's just kind of.
Who's Peter Johnson?
Yeah, nobody. That's exactly what I mean. You have a certain name and it's a certain character. That's it. You cannot just exchange that. You cannot say, "Hey, it's The Witcher." But
you could at least say Hugh Jackman is a Wolverine.
No, Hugh Jackson is the Batman. That would be the same bullshit as saying Ciri is the Witcher. You know what I mean? It's The Witcher is Geralt.
Oh, yeah.
Geralt is the Witcher. So that's what I mean. Not an actor or some bullshit like that. Ciri, as you already said, isn't a Witcher, so the next game couldn't be The Witcher Ciri or whatever. But that's the only, in my opinion, logical continuation that is possible in the story. There is no other. What other character would be there? The females that the Witcher has to do with? Ciri is the only connection that's basically there to the Witcher universe, in my opinion. If they use any other character than Ciri, then it's gonna fail anyway. You need to have some connection to Geralt, and Geralt needs to be either side quest or some part of the next game must be with Geralt as the Witcher to have the connection to the other series. Otherwise, So I don't know. And I do know that the majority of people who worked on the last 3 Witcher games all left CD Projekt Red. They had over 70 open positions for just The Witcher. I could have actually applied for Q&A. I was actually thinking about it. Then I was like, go fuck yourself. If they look for Q&A people for Cyberpunk, I'm gonna apply for that. I do apply for that shit. But yeah. I'm not too interested in the next Cyberpunk. They already work on it. Nobody's working on the Cyberpunk game they released. So, as far as I know, there will be no patches or anything from this day on now. So, they're finished. Yeah. They're finished with that game that was released 3 years ago, and people were pissed about Motion Twin starting a new game. Because they abandoned Dead Cells after supporting it for over 6 years after its release. That's a great company. CD Projekt Red.
You mean they abandoned it after they released Castlevania DLC?
It's not abandoned. The game is finished. The game is finished.
Well,
for
I know
6
what
years.
you mean, but you used that word, so I came with it.
No, they released another update, and one update is still missing, and they still did not release that. that's the one point where I see people complain about, but the game is finished. I mean, you can play update 34 and just wait for 35. That says, I wanted to mention that earlier, that says was finished, but they continued to add stuff to it as bonus, basically. A few people were annoyed by that because they were like, hey, I want to have 1.0 and play that game, not adapt to new changes and stuff. Well, you can do that. Install 1.0 and you will not have anything from the next updates. 7 Days to Die released as 1.0 and still has to deliver things that need to be in 1.0 on release. So that's a bit of a difference. So they continued the support. The guys from 7 Days are still finishing the game.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I still don't understand. How you can release the game and then say, story will be later. Oh yeah, EA did the same thing with Battlefield.
yeah, good. Okay.
Battlefield 5, I guess.
But Battlefield is 80% multiplayer, so that doesn't really. If you see Battlefield, if you see Battlefield as a single player game, that's on you. Call of Duty, different story.
It still wasn't finished. The point is they released unfinished game.
I lost interest in the Battlefield with 3. They lost me with that when they fucked me over, so. Yeah, let's see, let's go into discussions.
The one thing I'm glad about 7 Days to Die is going into 1.0 is we're probably hearing the last time you rant about this game.
I don't think so. Hey, if I get my chest back, and if I get another thing that was in the game for 10 years, if you find a jar, if you find a glass jar with water in it, you can drink it. Back in the day, pretty much over 10 years, you ended up with an empty glass jar. That empty glass jar you used in a river or in a lake to get dirty, murky water out of it. You cooked that water and you had clean water in your glass jar. A mechanic that was in the game for a decade. You could craft jars out of glass. Logic. I mean, that's just the realism. If I drink this bottle, the bottle as a container still exists. It doesn't dissolve. That would be fucking awesome. We wouldn't have to recycle it. Yeah, you drink exactly. Yeah, you drink it out and then just eat it. I mean, it's just gone. In 7 Days to Die, you literally do that. You drink the jar, and since there is no glass or no lid in your inventory or on the floor, you eat. I just saw a joke about that. That was like, hey, don't you have a healing flask or something? Yeah, but I drank it and now I have the empty bottle. What do I do with the empty bottle? What do you mean what you do with the empty bottle? You just eat it and it's gone. What do you mean you eat the bottle? And that guy's like, all bloody, but it was gone from the inventory. See, that's how you do it. You don't have to drop it because that would have stayed in the inventory as an empty bottle. And he was like, just get rid of it. And this is literally what you do in 7 Days to Die, but yeah. It makes no sense. At least give me broken glass on the ground. Then I understand it. I drank it. I dropped it. Okay. Makes sense. You find soup cans or whatever food cans you find. In reality, you empty that can. Then you have an empty can that you can use to scoop up dirty, murky water to clean it and end up with, well, you needed jars for that, but then you had, well, you could even have cooked water. You could have hot water in 7 Days to Die. I think in barrels or something. You could have hot water. It's gone. So no empty cans anymore. No empty glass jars. You do find cans of soup. You do find jars with water to drink. Also, murky water in jars, so you cook it and you have clean water. The only way to get water, clean water now, when you don't find any, and I was looking for water and stuff, and I was like, holy fuck, where do I get water from? I'm not sure if you actually can still drink out of a lake. You could use that, and well, you did get diarrhea and stuff, but you could drink water to not die. Yeah, no. Gone. And now, I played 1.0 and I saw at the trader, I saw a new icon, and I was like, oh, what icon is that supposed to be? And it was an upgrade for the Dew Collector. And I was like, Dew Collector? What the fuck is that now? The Dew Collector is how you get water now. You craft that thing that you have to learn how to make it. Then you craft a Dew Collector. And guess what it gives you? How do you get the water how does the water end up in the inventory of the Dew Collector? What's your guess?
Of course, it shit out a freaking glass jar.
Yes! And those are the reasons I cannot play the game anymore. My brain refuses to see past shit like that. I played the game for 10 years. It's not like I played Cyberpunk the way I played it and they changed the whole game with patch 2.0. No. They kept everything else, but removed all the stuff that I just mentioned. Why? Explain it to me with anything. But why was that mechanic unchanged for 10 years so they changed it with 1.0? It kind of reminded me of the time when they had a great idea to remove the capability to craft iron springs. Iron springs were needed for, I think, the rocket launcher, the bike, the motorcycle, for a lot of mechanical items. Then you had to find it somewhere in a game that's 100% based on RNG. In a loot game, you're supposed to find 2 items that you need to craft something. I had everything to craft the freaking bicycle. And I couldn't because they took away the possibility to craft 1 item that I needed for it. You could craft the handlebars, the frame, everything on the bicycle. But that 1 piece was missing. So those are the changes that just make no sense. I can accept that I cannot craft a spring. In reality, making a spring at home is nearly impossible with the tools that you have. A spring.
Well, it's not like you can craft a frame for a bike at home without wielding tool.
It's not just a wielding tool that you need to make a spring. Making a spring is there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
needed.
I know, but still you don't have wielding tool in 7 Days to Die.
You don't need to. You can build a bike out of wood. Take duct tape, and you can even buy bamboo frame bicycles. They're made out of bamboo. I wouldn't ride those. I mean, they last for a while, but I like to...
I don't think that this thing will survive several jumps.
It's a bicycle to ride on the street. It's not a fucking mountain bike that you jump with. That should be kinda obvious with the wooden part in the frame. Kinda. I kinda expect enough common sense that you wouldn't jump with a wooden bike. No, it's just
a bike. Common sense, go fuck itself.
Oh, well, then you would have a really fun time with a bunch of bicycles that you should never jump with. I mean, don't get me wrong, I jump with every bike. So, I jumped, and if there's I don't know, if I have to get off from the sidewalk or something, Yeah, you think I wait for an entrance for cars or something? Hey, if it's like this, I just jump it down. I mean, and if I'm on my mountain bike, I jump off before I jump down. So it's even higher. But with a regular bike, I jump. The important part is you have to land on both wheels at the same time. Then it can work with pretty much all bikes, even with a wooden bike, but I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't. But okay, here, let's see. Too much for this. It's 52 pages. 66 already. It was 52 earlier today. Okay. I've been playing and supporting 7 Days to Die since its release here. Having got many friends to buy it in this alpha stage. Me too. And even running smaller community servers for it more than once. To note, I've never felt comfortable buying 7 Days to Die at full price. Like 3 out of 20 people I've played this with have bought it at full price. I or them have always found the $7 keys you find on it. Damn, your English is hardcore. But yeah, full price. Well, at the moment it would be, what was it before the change? I think 25 or so. It's definitely worth 25. I mean, Enshrouded has a €30 price tag. It's early in development, and if anybody knows me, €30 for an early access game is pretty much a no-go. But if a game is on a high quality as Enshrouded, yeah, I can accept that. And it has so much content already. It's you already. If I would have paid for it, which I didn't, I would have gotten my fun and worth of money out of it already with over 50 hours, and I'm not even remotely to whatever you can play in the game. I'm level 10 in 50 hours of playing the game. So yeah, there will be changes when it comes to leveling, I guess, because now you level more by mining than killing enemies. So, and there are not that many enemies anyway. Some people complain about that too. Oh, we need more enemies. Yeah, and high difficulty. Yeah, dude, the game is like 6 months old. Let them collect some feedback maybe, and then put the feedback back into the game. I mean, people expect a finished game. This is something that will always piss me off.
Early access tech for a reason exist.
Yeah, but people don't understand that. That's the same like the other guy. Hey, I played this for so long. Now I can not use my save with 1.0. I mean, should kinda be obvious. I mean, if a game supports the continuing of your old save, hey, congratulations. But oftentimes they change internal systems with a new version and with the release version. So older items might have a different ID, might be placed.
Sometimes might be changing the engine or changing the save system.
Yeah, exactly. It oftentimes is related to change in the save system, to, let's say, reduce the size of the save, or when they add auto save to the game. So you have, like, depending on the game, some games give you the option to choose how many auto saves you want to have. And yeah, it's oftentimes related to save. Yeah, that's true. So you should never ever expect that you can play what you play in early access also in the release version. So, and people complain about that. There should be more ways to kind of show how a review is. If a review is that there should be more than just, yeah, it's funny, or it doesn't matter for anybody if a review is funny. It needs to be informative, for example, or yeah, mostly informative. I don't want to read the fucking cake recipe in a stupid review. I mean,
oh yeah, I did that several times.
I report them all, and I do know for a fact that if I report a review, the review will be taken down. I know that for a fact. And I just reported an account because of the avatar. Took support 20 minutes to tell me, hey, thanks for telling us, we acted on it. 20 minutes on a Saturday.
I reported some profile that have a lot of profanity and racist stuff, but yeah, I got a community reply from Valve. They said we didn't see any problems with that profile.
Send me that profile.
It was basically a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I wouldn't remember this profile by this point.
But normally, I do report anything that is related to World War II or Nazis. Anything, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what it is. As soon as I see it is related to that, it's reported. And since I'm a German, if a German reports something because of Nazi-related things, yeah, they don't wait for a day or so. No, that's gone on that day, and I love it. And same with overly sexual profiles or groups. When you use some cleavage or something, hey, I don't care. If you use a bikini girl, hey, I'm grown, I don't mind. But yeah, if you see genitals or hardcore action and stuff, nope, not in my world. Do what you want locally on your stuff, but children can go on Steam and can see that. And they should not see stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this several times when we discussed games 18 plus.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, where was the, I don't know, Congrats? Yeah. Cloud save? The game has cloud saves for years, doesn't it?
Like I played this game.
Wait. 7 Days to Die does have cloud save, right? No, it doesn't? Oh, it doesn't. Ha ha!
Well, it kinda makes a point that they didn't have a cloud save because when they changed the versions, saves always broken.
It doesn't matter if it's saved in a cloud or not. If it doesn't matter where it's saved. Cloud is just a backup of your local save, that's all. It's literally exactly the same.
Yeah, well, basically not to...
You couldn't play the local save or the cloud save if the version isn't compatible, so... But yeah, not having cloud save in 2024, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a really good game. I bought the game 10 years ago and have 2,000 hours. I don't even have 2,000. If I had 2,000 hours in this game, wow, I would have mailed them already. How pissed I am. They're lucky I don't have 2,000 hours in the game. But why would you put 2,000 hours in a game that isn't even finished? I will never understand that shit. Why? I have over 300 hours, which is way too much for an early access game. I mean, again, I played pretty much every version, and every version I had to change and adapt to it. So I have over 800 in Dead Cells and played over 35 versions there, but that's a bit different to me. So yeah, and I think I've been in since Alpha 7. Back when zombies would run indoors but stop running outdoors in the sun. So I've played about 15 different games for $8. Yeah, kind of similar to me, yeah. And? Wait, where's the point in that? What? Is there something missing? Yeah, you played 15 different games for $8, and what is the point in that? That it's now $45?
I don't know. The title was a bit misleading, to be honest.
This is exactly like a lot of people see it. So, aren't all the things in the 1.0 update yet? Some of my enemies are still the old ones. Vulture, snake, rabbit, wild boar, chicken, coyote, grace. Nah, the models are updated. But yeah, first reply, 1.0 isn't the final version. It's more like beta 1.0 and stuff will still get added and changed. Yeah, fuck you, fun pimps, you piece of garbage asshole company. Seriously.
But that doesn't make it a release. It's make it continue to be an early access title.
Yeah,
But this time in beta and not an alpha.
Let me do what I should have done right on day one.
Fraud. Well, that escalated quickly.
Oh, not really.
Yeah, it took them 10 years to get that.
I mean, at this point, I have more hope for Star Citizen than for this game to ever be finished. I mean, this game is this 7 Days to Die was basically finished 4 or 5 years ago. They just kept adding stupid bullshit nobody needed and changing systems that were established for years. 7 Days to Die is the unfinished version of Ark. Ark did the same shit, but it took them not even it took them a fraction of time to finish Ark.
You wanna tell me that Ark is finished?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play it again anymore because I'm pissed about it, but yeah, it's pretty much finished.
I didn't know that.
It also has a shit ton of community support with workshops and stuff, and if you want to play the community maps and stuff, you need 500 gigabytes or more.
Ouch.
Yeah, just the base game is 130 or 150. Way too much. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but
I have two 1 terabyte HDDs and one 1 terabyte SSD. Where should I get 500 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes to install all of that community shit?
I mean, 500 gigabytes is like 5 really, really big AAA titles or 100 indie games. There is absolutely no justification on this planet for me to deinstall 2 good games for this game. Never ever. And mostly because I don't want to fuck over my SSD with 500 gigabytes of this. Anyway, what pissed me off about this game the most, which 7 Days to Die didn't do yet, but they will, this game wasn't finished and they started selling DLCs, which is an absolute no-go and should be forbidden by law. I mean, it's like I'm making a trilogy movie. I start with the first one, produce the second one and the third one at the same time. And I'm halfway done with the first one, but for some reason I'm finished with the second one. Then I say, okay, let's put the second one in the cinema and do the intro for the first part. Well, kinda. It just makes no sense.
Let's put it like this. You basically filming Lord of the Rings, you starting to releasing it on videos, well, it's not like a full film, but you cut it like a TV series into like 12 or 20 episodes. And right in the middle of the season 1, you basically going to Return of the King cinematic release.
I have a better metaphor for that. Yeah, you buy Lord of the Rings, the movie, and then they release a special edition that adds a whole bunch of new armies and new art and graphics, like the Star Wars bullshit Lucas did with all the different versions, new saber and new this and new that, and you have to buy that disc because there is so much new story text in it that it changes the movie itself. So it's technically not possible, but theoretically you watch the movie, put in the disc, and that gets overlaid over the regular movie. So that's kind of what they did with Ark. You can still play the whole game as you could watch the movie, but if you want to have the full experience, you have to pay again. So that's what pissed me off about Ark. But they didn't, what they did while they were making the game, they didn't work on performance and anything like that. They kept adding new things, but they didn't take out stuff. So they added and kept that stuff. Added, kept that stuff. Performance got worse and worse and worse. Didn't care. Let's sell I don't know, was like $20 DLC or so back then. So yeah. Oh, another free expansion pack. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, let me see. I want to know how big Ark is now if I would install everything. 329 gigabytes.
Ouch. That's practically Call of Duty. What was that? Warzone.
Is that so big?
I think so.
Why would Call of Duty be that big? It's like a 40 gigabyte game. What? Animated series released with free in-game cosmetics? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, 7 Days to Die will never ever get even close to this developer. And it took them much less.
I'm a bit off. Just 125 gigabytes.
Yeah. But also, I guess, just with all the community maps and bullshit.
It's Call of Duty. What type of community maps we're talking about? And it's specifically Warzone. It's not full Call of Duty, it's just Warzone.
I don't care for that game. The series, the Call of Duty ended over a decade ago when they started trying to be better than what's the other series?
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor, yeah. When they tried to beat Medal of Honor, which in my opinion was always the more realistic and better of the games.
Yeah, and then Medal of Honor tried to copy Call of Duty, and Medal of Honor died.
Medal of Honor was the realistic one, and the modern one and everything died. They released the game last year. I'm not sure if how did Medal
of
Honor...
Medal of Honor died with Warfighter.
Are we talking about the same game? Where was... shit. I don't remember the name right now. Modern Warfare is?
Modern Warfare is Call of Duty.
Oh, that's Call of Duty. What was the... Oh, then it was... That was the remaster. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay, then I mixed it up. But yeah, Call of Duty got bad when they introduced that sci-fi bullshit. With, I don't know, what they did years.
Blobs 3, I guess.
I don't know, when they introduced like laser and space and whatnot.
We
That
already have at least 2 games that can go under this category: Blobs 3 and Infinity Warfare.
I stopped caring for the franchise at that point. When I saw people run around in space stations with lasers and sci-fi armor, nah. I mean, I get modern armor, and we do have those sci-fi looking armors in the army as well, but not like that. I mean, nah, it just went over the top, and then they released a new game every year, and now it's just a new FIFA, basically, just a shooter. I mean, it used to be that in the past that they released a new game every year. It doesn't work out too well. You see that in other games too. Assassin's Creed, yeah, it didn't go too well until they decided to make a break of a year in between releases.
It still didn't go too well.
Origins was a good game. Odyssey. What?
It's still the same piece of shit Assassin's Creed.
You don't get the point of it. The other games, they changed the story and everything, but they were kinda just an upgrade to what you had before.
Yes, but you don't get it because Assassin's Creed after Origin copying Origin. It's the same shit, just under a new engine.
That's not what I mean. You can release a game every year, and it's not going anywhere. If you
Well, it's the same thing with Origin, Odyssey, and Valhalla. It's absolutely the same thing.
Well,
Nothing changed.
They went back to the we release it sooner. Although, no, between Valhalla and Mirage, it's over 2 years.
Yes, but nothing changed. Now they're releasing game in 2 years and not in 1 year, but nothing changed. It's still the same Ubisoft formula.
What do you mean, the maps and collectibles and stuff?
Maps, collectibles, but now we have RPG elements when we basically forced into one area, and Ubisoft won't allow you to have community created missions that will help you skill the grind. Those missions will be banned.
Do you realize that you contradicted yourself super hardcore right now?
I'm not sure, but how?
Any actual modern Assassin's Creed game is nothing like the first two.
I'm specifically said that they after Origin nothing changed. They started copying Origin. Yes, they right now copying Origin and not Assassin's Creed 2, but still, you doing the same thing.
Yeah, but the game did change. That's the point I want to make. If you like the changes or not, that doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is from 2 to the following games, it was. The look changed a bit in the story, but it didn't change the game itself until some point where it went way more action. So, the new era, the Origins era, is not my Assassin's Creed era anymore. It's a new take on Assassin's Creed. It's an action Assassin's Creed. The games before were way more Assassin's Creed. Like, you're an assassin. You try to sneak around and stuff. They went back to that formula with Mirage, but in my opinion, failed. I played it. Maybe I didn't play it enough, but it was still way too modern. They did bring back a lot of the old school feeling from the first two games. Yes, but they still kept a bit too much of the modern shit. It's still a bit too much action. That's the reason why I'm looking forward to Shadows.
I'm looking forward to the Shadows because Japanese officials want to sue Ubisoft.
Why?
Well, basically for how should I put it? Not.
It's a fictional story with fictional
They
characters.
saying that it's not a fictional story. They saying it's based on real
Yeah.
events.
Every Assassin's Creed has historically accurate.
They used to call it a work of fiction. With Assassin's Creed Shadow, they claiming that it's most historically accurate one.
That doesn't matter.
It's matter because now Japanese officials looking to sue Ubisoft.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed 2, that was the one in Venice, I think.
Yes.
Is 100% accurate. There isn't a more accurate game that I played when it comes to history. Period.
When it comes to how it looked, when it comes to who was alive at the time, yes. But when it comes to Templar and Assassins, that's already a work of fiction.
Yeah, and that's also in Shadows, a work of fiction. That did not...
they did implement that they put a lot of history work in it. Like a lot of history work in it.
Yeah, but you have that in every Assassin's Creed. That's nothing that you can sue.
Previous Assassin's Creed had said that it's a work of fiction. When it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, only Japanese version had it's a work of fiction part of it. When it comes to European release, they was saying that it's most historically accurate and you can basically replace history books with it.
That's nitpicking on words, dude. Seriously. Every Assassin's...
I'm saying you how it is.
Again,
Assassin's Creed Shadows in a big problem.
You cannot sue anything like that. Every Assassin's Creed game is 100% historically accurate when it comes to the persons, the locations, every single Assassin's Creed. No, because it's not.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Assassin's Creed that took place in Russia, is complete loony pile of shit. It's not historically accurate, and it's never will be.
Okay, I didn't play that one, I didn't play the China one, but the ones that I played, the regular full-fledged games, they're all historically accurate when it comes to the dates, the locations, the buildings. Don't tell me otherwise. Every single game, the historical stuff that you read about it is 100% accurate. The game itself is still a fictional game based on history. Shadows is also a fictional game because nobody was living back then who is alive today. So it can never be 100% accurate. And you can never ever, no matter what you do, no matter how many books you read, recreate the life of one person by detail. Even if you know everything about it. Huh?
There is anthropology as a science, and it's basically doing it. They are recreating how people used to live in certain period of time.
That's not the same. Recreating something is based on the information that you have. But you will never ever be able to write a fully fledged biography or make a movie like 10 hours or so about the life of one person. It is impossible. So you cannot sue that. It doesn't, whatever they want to do, they cannot sue it. They can sue nothing about Assassin's Creed. Nothing. There is nothing suable there. Impossible. It is not, the only thing that they could do to make them use different names or something like that. But even then, I mean, the Borgia and everything, the story that you learn in the Assassin's Creed game with Venice is accurate to a certain point. The Borgia have been a real family and they did a lot of the shit that you see in Assassin's Creed. Templars and Assassins
by
different
the
story.
time when it was depicted in Assassin's Creed 2, a lot of families, not only in Italy, did basically the same thing, and well, it's basically how they used to live.
Yeah, but about the Borgia are it's a known.
It's basically one of the worst example of it.
No, not really. It's
I
based.
said one of them.
Yeah, but it's still based on their story. But you couldn't do it one by one as it was back then, so you cannot sue it. It's just impossible. Who thinks even about suing a game for that? That's such bullshit.
At least one Japanese politician.
That's just bullshit. That will never happen. Never ever. You cannot sue that. It's impossible.
Well, they can at least block this game on territory of Japan.
Yeah, they can. I mean, that's... So what? People will get it anyway. I mean, yeah, Ubisoft will make less money, but... What I also don't understand is... there's a black guy in a Japanese game. Yeah, you think there haven't been black people thousands of years ago? Hello?
There is a lot of to cover about this black guy, and specifically people pissed that this guy is claimed to be a samurai.
Well,
when in the reality he probably was something like a court gesture.
Yeah, or you wouldn't have... Well, we don't know the story of the game, so might be explained. But normally...
they used a history book that was written by English professor about this game, and all citations that was saying that this guy was a samurai was put by this same professor inside of the Wikipedia. So this professor was already fired from the university.
I don't care about all that bullshit. I just care for the reason why the black guy becomes a samurai, and that will be explained to the game. It doesn't matter if it's historically accurate or if there were black samurai. Doesn't matter one fucking bit.
I mean,
they just remade.
Ubisoft going with the idea that we're going to take it as a face value that this guy is a samurai, and that's all.
Who says that? I never saw anything about that. It will 100%, like every other single Assassin's Creed game, have a start and explain you how you become an assassin or a samurai. 100%, there's no question about that it will be explained. They will not just drop you into the game as a black samurai and be like, so, it's Japan, 900 what, something, and that's it. That's not
Assassin's
happening.
Creed in London. Assassin's Creed in Victorian London is specifically like that. You dropped into the London and said, hey, you're an assassin, have fun with that.
But you do realize that comparison makes no sense at all. You're white. No.
You did stuff like that.
Still, you don't need an explanation why a white guy is living in a white fucking town. You get that? That's also why Assassin's Creed 3, with a half-blood Indian, explains you how the fuck you get to the point to become an assassin. You need that story. As an industrial, grown-up guy in London, yeah, you need a little bit of information why you are in London and not in Birmingham or something. But you don't need to explain how a white adult can end up in a white country. You understand that? So it will be...
I understand that it's a different starting point when we have to, and a different background that we put into.
Yeah, but every Assassin's Creed explains you the story at the beginning. It doesn't drop you in the game just as is. In Origins, you don't just start the game and look for somebody to kill. No, you want to kill the one who killed the son in front of your eyes. You see that, so you do it. And you have a reason, and you know that first story. You don't need to see how the character from Origins grows up, because it's not important for the story. What you need to know for the story is always 100% explained. We will 100% know why the fuck a black guy is in ancient Japan as a samurai, because it makes no sense to us normally. But there is a reboot of a show that was made in the 80s, called Samurai, about, I think a British guy or Portuguese, I don't know anymore, who ends up in Japan, who is the only survivor of his group because the rest is all killed, and he becomes a samurai. There are so many movies about that, with
The Last Samurai, basically.
The Last Samurai, 47 Ronin, or however it was called, The Seven Samurai, whatever. There are so many movies about that. Okay, Seven Samurai was a bad example, but a lot of movies with the story where white guy ends up becoming a samurai, which I don't know even ever happened in reality. Because first you need to get there as a Westerner, then you need to learn Japanese over there, and then you need to, learn how to fight, and to become a samurai is, you do need to have the respect of whoever you're protecting. The samurai were basically the bodyguards of the highest people there, so you had to be the best to become a samurai.
Well, it's depends on what time period it is, because at the end of the samurai era, samurai was practically like European knights. They basically was lords under the bigger lord, and those lords have even their own samurais.
Yeah, but they were fighting against the Westerners, so that's
not all the time. Mostly
at the end,
themselves.
The end era of the samurai, they were fighting swords against guns. Yeah, that was the Westerner against the Japanese, basically.
It's also a bit of shaky, because even samurais knew how to use.
They also did use
guns.
They also did use rifles and guns and cannons and stuff. Yeah, but that was basically the end of that samurai era as we knew it. After that,
it's basically was feudal counter-revolution, when dying class of the samurais tried to protect older feudal rules and prevent industrialization and creation of capitalism in Japan.
Yeah, and once that area was done, there was no samurai anymore. That just ended basically with that. There were no rifle samurai or something like that. So,
yeah, practically yes, because those samurais became officers and stopped being on the battlefield at all.
Yeah, soldiers, generals, whatever. But I really should look into if there ever have been non-Japanese samurai, because that's the first thing that kind of comes to mind. I mean, I really like that movie with Richard Chamberlain, and I don't think that we needed a remaster of that, because that's still, I mean, historical movies, yeah, they just get more CGI today, but if they built temples back then, they would build it the same way today. I mean, that movie still works 100% from the 80s. Doesn't matter. You can still watch it today. It's still a good movie. Well, movies. It has been several parts. But when I saw that they remade that, I was like, huh? Why? And then I saw some trailers and I was like, oh, fuck you. Just fuck you. Seriously. That's just a 21st century action. This not, nah. Maybe it's better, but from what I saw, it's way too modernized. It's, nah. It gives me superhero vibes, kinda. I don't know. maybe not, but
Yeah, that's what I don't get in all those depiction of medieval era from our perspective. Director always and screenwriters trying to put modern values into the past. Like, dude, just open any Scandinavian saga and try to recreate it.
yeah. I mean,
That's you will be already decapitated back then if you ever try to implement whatever you're doing here.
I have to think about. I read something that was going in that direction, also related to older stuff. If you would do it today, how was it?
Well, basically we can use not so long ago and like 90s and comedy shows like Scrubs. I think it what related to.
Yeah, basically like how do we put it the best? Well, Gen X. I'm Gen X, so we grew up. Yeah, we did had protectors when we went to skating. We did had bike helmets and stuff, but it wasn't like you had to wear them all the time, or I don't know. Our parents were not overprotective. Yeah, they told us to be careful here, there, and whatnot, and we knew because, well, sometimes we made the experience that listening to our parents would have been a good idea. But today, it's basically kids are bubble wrapped these days. They're overprotected in some ways and absolutely not protected in other ways. A lot of parents don't fucking care what their kids do on their phones. TikTok, child molesters, and whatever they can get in touch with a phone. No protection there. Doesn't matter. 5 years, you have a phone. Don't care. $500, $1,000, you have the phone. Doesn't matter. Online, yeah, sure. Go online the whole day. We don't care. But when it comes to other stuff, oh my god. Oh, you have to do this and that and here and... Dude, seriously. How did we as Gen X even survive our childhood?
I'm millennial, so we basically in between of that stuff, when it was like, yeah, you kinda on your own, but already getting around the corner to the bubble wrap.
Yeah, and I think for us it was kinda expected that we know that something is bad without putting it with huge labels on a box. Dangerous, or this coffee is hot. Yeah, no shit, it's fucking coffee, you idiot. So for us, I have the feeling it was enough to explain it to us and then make your own experience. But these days it's like, no. Don't. I mean, when I just look at, okay, I don't have the comparison to my youth when it comes to sex education in the United States, but just knowing the sexual education today in the United States doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't even know how it is here, but sex and growing up with knowing what sex is starts relatively soon here. So when you ask somebody that's 14, 15 years about sex, they can tell you what's about. They can tell you about protection. In the United States, it starts way later, and their protection and safety is don't have sex. They don't explain you how to protect yourself or anything. Just don't do it. It's like, oh yeah, driving a car, it can be dangerous, but you know, you have airbags, you have a belt and everything. You can, if you are careful, you can. Or you are like, no, it can kill you. Just don't do it. Don't step into a car, or just don't go outside your house. I mean, really, come on.
We had a sort of sex education, but it was like only one lesson because most of the stuff was reproductive system, of course, was covered during anatomy classes, but it wasn't about how to or why to.
Mm.
Why to was mostly to reproduce. So that's all. But when it comes to sex education, it was like we were taken to the room. Lector was standing in front of us, and we was like in 9th grade by this, no, 11th grade by this point, and the lector was like, "You know what sex is? Okay, good. My job is done here."
Wait, you were like 16, 17 when they had that in school? Oh, what the fuck? Okay,
because it was just getting into school. It wasn't into school before.
Okay.
So we basically was like in our way out of school, and the state was like, those motherfuckers should listen about sex.
You already had your experience until that point. The funny thing is, I don't fully remember when we had sex ed in school, but I think it must have been like something between 4th and 6th grade or something. But I already knew everything about it. And when my parents, I do remember, I don't remember exactly when it was, but I kinda remember when my parents wanted to do it, or try to start with it. And my response was, okay, what do you want to know? Seriously, I knew everything about it. I've seen my first porn magazine with 6 years. That was also the time when I first did, the doctor games that you do as little kids, you know. What do you have there? What do I have there? You know? So, yeah, I was already, naked with a girl and looking at the differences. So, yeah, when we had sex ed, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's the reason why I don't remember it that much. I only remember, obviously in that age, around 10, 11, 12 years or so, penis, yeah, it was funny, new words and shit, but the act about it and what happens, yeah, I knew it. So, how did we end up here now at that point? I was just thinking about how did we actually, what was the main point to get in that area?
We were talking about differences between time, and then it's kind of got out of hand.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to end the stream anyway. It's late for you, and it's getting late for me. Well, late in quotes. I need to get some shopping done.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that game that I might have seen and maybe even touched, but yeah, I guess we can talk about it closer to its release.
Including pictures the next time.
Yeah, but to get the pictures, I must actually buy the game and not using whatever I shown you.
Doesn't matter how I got I don't have the game, so I know nothing about it, so I just found the pictures on the internet.
Yeah.
So
some strange Russian dude might have made it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, hey, what you do in your corner of the earth, hey, that's your thing. I don't care. I don't mind. I mean, you can talk about piracy or whatever, buying, not buying games. Hey, that's your thing. The law.
I'm literally outside of jurisdiction of USA and Interpol.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Germany doesn't care for what you do. I mean, it's not like Hey, hey, Russian, you're not allowed to. I mean, seriously? It matters a bit more for me what I do, but if I show stuff from you, like trailers from a game that you played, I don't fucking care how you obtained it. I mean, that's your thing. I don't care. I just show it.
Yeah, and I just found it.
Yeah, I mean, there's an otter that you can have as a pet in Ark. What? Okay, I want to play Ark again. You can have an otter pet in Ark. I mean, that's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. And it brings you stuff from the sea ground.
Yeah, that's the Switch.
That no, doesn't matter what we talked about 5 minutes ago. I just saw it now. Hey, I never watched that trailer. It's the first time I see that trailer here. And that's the thing that I see. The dude throwing the fucking otter in there. Actually, I did see those dinos earlier because it's running for a while already. But I just saw that dude here. Whoop! What the fuck? Hilarious. Okay. That's actually motivation for me to play the game again. I want an otter pet now. That's
okay. For
hilarious.
now, we can say goodbye to 7 Days to Dice and to rants about it for quite a while.
Yeah, for the time being, definitely. Until your voice should still work. Until they bring back until a modder, and there will be one. I'm 100% sure about that, if there isn't a mod out already. There will be a chest out again, and there will definitely be empty glass jars and empty cans again. If you can craft with them or not, doesn't matter, but they will be in the game again. Oh, what we have in the game now, because we always needed that. Not sure if that was in the game before. I think it was. Candles? I'm not sure. I think candles have been in the game for a few versions. But the modded candles in... Are you still there, actually?
Ugh, my webcam is really hot right now.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm already on the end screen. Just, I didn't hear you anymore. And I wasn't sure if you're coming through.
I'm just starting to have a... let's say a suspicion that my cam might turn off because of overheating.
Overheating of the cam itself?
Yeah, it's hot when I'm touching it.
Well, mine is warm too, but it's not really hot. It's hand warm.
It might be also related to it being hot in general here.
Yeah, it's the same here. I mean, you could see that maybe earlier how I start to how do you say that? Sparkle from the sweat on my forehead because yeah, it's really warm. We have 30 degrees outside. Obviously, the balcony door is open and my two PCs are running, so I guess I have the same temperature in as it is outside. Alexa, wie warm ist es im Wohnzimmer? Huh? Okay. It's not as high as I expected. But it's really warm here now under my desk with two PCs.
Yeah, normally... I get it. After I changed the casing and there is two more exhaust upside and not just backside, I started to feel the heat from my PC.
Yeah, well, I do have that with the stream PC. Yeah, that adds a little bit. The other one is only blowing out the backside, but it's still well warm under the desk anyway, because my desk in the back has a wall. So my desk isn't open in the backside, so it cannot push the air into the room as normally. It's basically like my PC is located in front of a wall. So
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm trying to get an air conditioner in the room this year, and I will place it if I can manage it the right way. I will place it so the cold air is getting in front of the PC, so it can pull in the air-cooled air as well. So, but yeah, it's just when I work. So normally when my room is closed and everything, I have around 26.5 degrees or so. It's 26.5 at the moment where Alexa is positioned because it's not right next to me. And in the morning, I normally open the balcony door and put a fan in front of the door, so I put the whole cold air inside from the balcony door by pushing it through the ground, over the ground basically. So that cools down the whole room for quite a while, but well, sometimes I smoke, so I have to open the balcony door, and well, the moment you open the door, temperature gets in and cold gets out. And I'm also having sun until it goes down, basically. So sun is hitting the wall behind me 100% right now. And that's not helping. So it also heats up the window and the window blinds and everything. And no matter how cold I get my room in the morning, I can get it down to 24 degrees. If I'm not there the whole day, nothing is running in the room, door is closed, and I get home from the bike shop or something, it will have 26 degrees plus. I don't know why and how, but that's just how it is. I also have, there's also, my kitchen is built basically next to the living room, and, we have, some kind of a chimney there where you can, put, the air and heat and stuff from cooking, into the house, so it can get out the house on the roof basically, and you don't have the smell and the heat in your kitchen and your room. So, but that's basically open, so warm air can get in here too that way, because it's not closed. It's not like a valve, it's open. So I don't have anything attached there. The motor and the fan that is in there that would push it outside, well, it's broken for a few years, and replacing that is, well, kinda not possible. So I do have to figure out something there. But yeah, I'm looking for an AC, and yeah, because working in the room remotely all day long, I had to work here for a project for around 9.5 hours a day. So I was working until midnight or 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, while having the PC running here, and crazy. But what I'm doing now for a few weeks now, I can play pretty much every game that I tried on echo mode. My fucking CPU runs at 40% maximum. And I get 100 plus frames in games, so people are complaining about performance in Shrouded and stuff. And I wanted to turn off echo mode before I went live. Then I was streaming for 8 hours, turned off, and then I was like, oh, did I turn it off? And I was streaming the game smooth, without any issues, totally fine, with 100 frames with echo mode. And that's the reason I even put it in the title, playing Enshrouded maxed out on echo mode. So, yeah.
Zen 5 is a cool thing.
Or
it's Zen 4?
I have a Ryzen 7. And
yeah, it's 4th gen, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think the naming of the Ryzens pisses me off. It's so stupid.
Well, it used to make sense when they started, but then something gone wrong.
Yeah. Now it makes as much sense as the freaking Intels for years. Yeah, that's when I miss the old times. An Athlon 3200. No, it wasn't the 3000. An Athlon 1100 was running at 1000 megahertz or something like that. So, yeah, it could be easier, but yeah.
It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty much. And now, oh my god, no, nothing is self-explanatory at all anymore. Zero. For years. I stopped caring for the naming and all that kind of shit years ago. I'm happy that, unlike Intel, AMD did one thing. The port AM1, AM2, AM3, AM4, AM4 Plus, AM5. Thank you. Easy. Hey.
Yeah, it's definitely not like Intel with their Coffee Lake, Bridge Lake, and whatever.
Holy shit. 1166, 1133, and okay, it ends right there, because those were the numbers that I just read not too long ago. But Intel ports, no. No, I'm out. Oh, thank you, I'm out. No. There. It was easy back in the day. 386, okay. 486, okay. Then you had your different speeds. Pentium, and you had your different speeds. Now okay, I don't care. I have the second or third fastest desktop Ryzen, and I only need 40% of it, so it really doesn't matter. My upgrade in half a year will be turning off echo mode. If a game doesn't need the CPU, like Cyberpunk, for example, to simulate all the people running around, because best simulation, then...
Or what the game? Dragon's Dogma 2, which tanked every CPU.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. There are some games that are not optimized at all. Okay, but that's for another stream. It's late for you, even later than earlier.
Yeah.
Lothar, you have a good night.
One day we must talk about those shit that Capcom doing, like pre-order bonuses that basically pay-to-win mechanics for single-player games.
Oh, what was that? You mentioned it earlier, or not too long ago, right? What did they just do I saw something about Capcom. What was it? Was it a reboot, a remaster, or something that they fucked up or something? It was also related to something with pre-order.
Oh, last time that they fucked up with pre-order was Dragon's Dogma 2, and the reboot that they screwed up, at least one that I can remember, it's Resident Evil 3.
What's the next game coming from Capcom, do you know?
Funny enough, no. I don't know what... I know that they may...
Monster Hunter is getting a new one. I read about...
Oh yeah,
that. That wasn't... Oh, yeah. What they fucked up, I read that because in that magazine they were talking about the new Monster Hunter. I didn't read the whole article, but they did mention a Monster Hunter game with like chibi characters. That must have been...
Monster Hunter Stories.
Stories. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that must have been really shit.
Damn it, I remembered it only after you said chibi characters.
It also looks like shit. I mean, I don't understand the reason for that even. It's so weird. I don't know. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. That was also mentioned in there. I think that's kinda that you can count that as a fail, I think.
Yeah, specifically because of that tank with CPU and how they refuse to optimize it.
Another thing is really, I mean, a €65 price tag. I mean, it's hard to justify anything about that. Yeah, I mean, but 63,000 reviews. A shit ton of people bought the game. Holy crap. Yeah, good game, horribly optimized. Yeah, that's the gist I got, yeah. They have yet to optimize the game, but it's on sale already, and that was a month ago. That hurts. But that also, I mean, I don't understand until today why Avatar isn't a much bigger hit. And I don't know. I feel so sad for Avatar and for the developer, because in my opinion, it's one of the best games released of the last few years from a AAA company when it comes to bugs and shit like that. And I really have to continue it again. They just released the first season pass DLC, so new story and new stuff. I don't have the season pass yet. Costs over $35, which in my opinion is a bit too much. Until I know how much story and how much time you actually get from the DLCs, then I might actually consider buying it at full price, because I got the game for free, saved €70, so yeah. I can hear you right on stream, but not on Discord. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, but can you still say something? Because I don't hear you.
Hey, it's finally fixed itself.
Ah, okay, because I also couldn't
Maybe
hear you.
it's on Discord as well that my camera refused to work.
Huh, strange.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
that could explain the robot voice that I had on your end, because that normally happens in Discord when there is some problem with your network eventually. So might be that your speed is lower than it should be at the moment.
Yeah, I have some occasional spikes like that.
Yeah, and
from recent events from neighbor country.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's normally the reason for robotic voice when internet speed from the other side is getting bad. Or if you receive it from a server or something like you did from me, then yeah, that's a Discord issue.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, Lothar, famous last words.
Fuck Epic.
All right, Lothar, thanks again for hanging out as always. And
yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry
good.
for being late.
Yeah, hey, no worries. I mean, you came. I wasn't sure what was going on. If you had no internet, your PC broke, or if you're sick or whatever. But because that was not really typical. Normally, you're already online for an hour or two when I get up from bed, you know. So it was weird.
Yeah, I mixed winter time and summertime. That's all.
It's also weird. All right. Anyway, Lothar, you have a good night and nice rest of the weekend.
Have a nice day.
All right. Bye, Lothar. All right. Yeah, that was mostly me ranting about 7 Days to Die. Then we went in a completely different way. I still don't exactly know how that happened. But anyway, the stream and channel is set to 18 plus. So, yeah, if you don't want to hear about sex, drugs, or any other shit like that, you're definitely on the wrong channel. And I don't care. I don't give a frick. Did I just, wait, I do have to show that. What did I just see? Wait a second. Wait a second here. That looks... I thought I'm on Elden Ring. Wait a second. I thought I was looking at the Elden Ring trailer here. That gave me 100% Elden Ring vibes right there. Show me that again. Where was that now? Where was that woman that looked like... Here. This... Come on. Please tell me this doesn't look like Elden Ring. I mean, seriously. If I look at this gives me 100% Elden Ring vibes. This and the following with that little tree. Wow. Seriously, I just saw that those two sequences and I thought I'm looking at Elden Ring. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Wow, okay, interesting. Anyway, if you were interested in 7 Days to Die, I'm sorry. The game is still unfinished, but now you have to pay twice as much. So I normally don't do that, but please don't buy that game at full price. Buy that game on the gray market. Please don't pay more than $20 for 7 Days to Die. I don't promote piracy, but hey, do whatever you deem correct in case of a greedy developer who releases an unfinished game as 1.0. Yeah, so they basically pulled a cyberprank on us. Although Cyberprank never was released as an early access game. But it was early access, actually. So yeah, 7 Days to Die, if you were interested in the game, well, I'm sorry. Either wait for longer, definitely never pay more than $15 or $20 for it. And to be honest, buy Enshrouded. Enshrouded is, at the moment, in my opinion, for a 6-month-old game in early access, the top crafting survival exploration game. By the way, there's no hunger mechanic. You cannot die from not eating. Cooking gives you buffs on your stats. So there's so much good stuff in the game. It's insane. So many quality of life things that I want in other games now after playing it. So €30 early access for at least another 1.5, 2 years. Perfectly fine. Absolutely awesome content. Huge. Don't get 7 Days to Die. Anyway. So this was number 53 of the Digital Homicides Streamcast. Doing this since over 5 years, over 50 episodes, obviously, with Lothar, as always. And, yeah. Next stream will be, I don't know when. Let's see. August has 4.5 weeks. So we have 5 weekends, basically. So I'm just throwing out 2 numbers here. If we will actually do that at that. Okay, this already is not working. I know that I have no time on 8. Well, actually, we might do 17th and 31st. So that could work. But I'm also going to a musical mid-August, and I'm not 100% sure if it was 18th or 17th, something like that. So that weekend might still change. Okay, I'm gonna do some shopping now, and then later today I'm gonna play a game called Vico. Or Vico, I don't know how you actually pronounce it, because it does have an accent on the E, so Vico, I don't know how to say it. Vico the Mask Gatherer, that's the game that I'm gonna stream and play later today. I got that from, wait a second, I did get it, wait, that's not the publisher? Where did I get the game from? Wait a second. It was a different company. Okay, that's interesting, because I asked for the key on Lurkit and on a different page. I did get it directly by email, but from the same company that gives the keys to Lurkit. I'm confused. Okay, I'm gonna check that later. Anyway, Vico the Mask Gatherer was released yesterday. I wanted to play it, couldn't, because I was way too tired. It's around €20. As far as I know, it's about 8 to 12 hours of content. And I think it was done by one person, if I recall that right. I was in touch with the developer on Twitter. So if you're interested in that game, come back later. I don't know when. So check out Twitter and Threads, because that's where I normally post when I go live. Alright, that being said, thanks for hanging out, And time zone appropriate greetings, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.